Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Panel Debate. Progress made, but few issues remain. Danny's not available, but he was on last night anyway. And Tariq is going to join, but he's going to join in a bit. He's just not working it. And Joe, listen, people want me to get me Joe on. Oh,
he's a fraud.
He's not responded to my message. So what can I do? You know
we said last time, man, every time Doku scores, this guy goes missing.
He can't handle it, can he?
He's not even responded to me.
Can't handle it, man. He's archived you. He's archived you while Doku's playing well.
He's archived me, bro, because he knows that Doku's cooking. He's having a terrible time, man, because Doku's having a good tournament, isn't it? So, yeah, he might be cooked here. But, yeah, anyway, guys, smash these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you guys are new. We're going to be speaking about last night, the Doku situation, the right back, basically every situation. It's Friday night, man, so whatever we're going to speak about, you know what I mean? We will be there. We will be there. But yeah, make sure you guys are subbed up. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes as well. Make sure you guys are following Not in My Lifetime and J Talks Football as well. J Talks Sport in it. So we'll get the links in the description in a minute. But yeah, how we doing, lads? Everyone good? Yeah, Friday night. Come on, look at us living life.
It's good, man. It's good to be a City fan right now.
I used to be in the pub on a Friday night.
Yeah, I know.
Every weekend. But,
now we're sat talking to our mates online, man.
Mates is a bit strong.
I know. Need to fucking touch grass again, LB. I'm telling you, man. We're turning into mutants.
It stopped me eating shit though, mate. Okay, honestly, man, I deep it, that every Friday I used to go to the pub, do about 10, 12 pints, and then go to the kebab shop opposite the road and get like a big pizza, chicken wings, everything, every Friday.
That's like 6,000 calories right there, isn't it?
Bro, I used to do that every single Friday.
Are you all having one of those midlife crises? You decided to shave your hair. You're having brews now instead of.
You're going to be out hiking soon on Instagram, isn't he? Doing hiking in the mountains.
You'll see him in a few weeks. He'll have a Porsche or something like that. I mean, he'll just.
I hope they're fucking moaning if I have a Porsche, bro. That's it, you know what I mean?
You look like you need to get back in the pub, man. You suit it more now with the new trim. If everyone else is like,
having a tear up every 2 minutes, wouldn't he?
Isn't it? Having a pint with Phil Mitchell, man. Phil Mitchell coming in hard.
I'm gonna get when I go back here, because I've not. You know what's mad actually? The pub that I go in. Apparently they've been asking about me. I've not been in for time.
Oh, the church? Not been in.
Yeah. I've been on this diet, innit? So like I've not been I've not really been drinking that much as well. And that is obviously one good thing about doing these streams. It keeps me out of the fucking pub. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyway, anyway, big up to you lads for joining, and big up to you guys in the chat. If you guys got any topics that you want us to discuss, guys, we'll back it in the chat. We got time tonight in it, so let us know. But yeah, another win, pretty convincing win. To be honest with you, 5-2. To be honest, yeah, I'll be real. I think that probably underdoes it. I think we probably should have scored a couple more, and a bit disappointed that we conceded the 2 goals. But yeah, Pulpy, man, I'll start off with you. What you saying, man, about yesterday?
I seen it coming. You know, this is the sort of improvements we were looking for, right? We needed. I think having that stability is just what we've missed. You know, having stability and some these fresh faces, man, is so good. Reinders looks like he's played 10 years at City.
Yeah, so
Ait Nouri, man, everyone's wanted a left back, and there you are, Bosch sliding straight in. That'll do. We don't even have to worry about that. That's the thing. When you get a new player, you're thinking, he's going to settle in. No, mate, he's done. He's straight in. That's it. Stepped up a level already. Bosch, have a bit of that. And good to see the wingers, man. You know, this is what they should have been doing. We were speaking before the show, and I was like, something's changed, like you've mentioned a few times. I think we've just been told to send it in that final third. New coach has just said, lads, just get in that and do what you do. Stop pissing about and just have a go. Have a go, man. And they're the rewards you get. And look at Doku, man. He's playing like he's trouble. Isn't he?
Big up Lewis right there. I seen it coming after predicting a 4-0 in every game last season.
Get what? Throwing off shit some sticks, mate.
That's a funny comment, man. Big up Lewis, man.
No, everyone saw the improvements coming.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's seen the way we're playing how we thought we should have played last year, which is dominating a bit more of attacking, and we've got the players now. And Haaland looks alive, doesn't he?
It's because he's got players that can actually pass him a fucking ball,
everyone's squeezing more percentages out of the game. They've got options. They've got players that you can do stuff.
Yeah.
Last year, then Doku scored last night. Last year, that pass to him Would never have happened. He would never have made that run in the box, and that pass into the gap would never have gone.
Yeah, so he never makes the run because there's no point in him making the run because the pass would never have come. And if he did make the run, the pass would never have come.
Yeah, or he made that run inside and probably just cut out with it. This time he's like, no, get it, Bosch, have a go. Done.
Yeah, and if the pass did come, he probably doesn't do that because so far in his tournament, man, in the couple of games he's played,
but
guy's on fire.
He also wouldn't be coming inside like he did because we would have had no width around him either. Them coming into those central areas last night all comes from having high and wide fullbacks, man. It completely changes the way you play football. Doku had so much more space last night because we had the threat of Ait Nouri either overlapping or underlapping, just dragging a man away from him because we know how much of a threat Ait Nouri is. And so a man's got to go with him. And that leaves Doku either one-on-one. It leaves Doku into drift. Savio was drifting from the right-hand side as well and leaving Núñez acres of space to run into it. And it literally comes from that small change of having...
The more we get Doku one-on-one, the more dangerous we are. If you get him one-on-one with someone who's a right fullback, you've seen what he did. He basically drove Trent Alexander-Arnold out of the country. He probably started learning Spanish even faster after that.
Yeah, the
He's on
problem
6
is...
hours a week on Duolingo rather than 3.
Yeah, the problem is, though, Doku doesn't usually get the opportunity to have one-on-ones because
now he will because we've got double threat on the side. We've generally got someone who, if Doku can't go past him, Ait Nouri will go around the outside, whereas before we had Guardiola who's just sort of like hanging around. Now we've got a threat where, let's be real, if we play against teams that usually double up on the fullbacks or whatever, double up, they're going to have to put 3 out there now. To stop
then leaves space for like Reinders in the middle.
Which leaves Rodri and Reinders just to have basically get the patio furniture out midfield and just dictate the ball between the legs and just not move. Yeah. Good signs ahead.
Would we have seen these guys though picking up central? Like, because I put this on Twitter, right, and it was more of a question than a criticism. But would we have, like, I've always spoke to you, LB, on air about how I fucking love like interchangeable like midfielders with the striker, like how PSG played last year, where Doku's in the middle 1 minute, like Foden's on the left, Cherky's on the right, Marmoush is picked. Like they're all drifting and interchanging, aren't they? Now that is when we look at our best. All right. Now I think we was too rigid in the way we played last year, obviously because we've got a guy up front who's on a 10-year contract who scores 60 goals a season, and their job usually is to just feed him in it. So that's why Doku would be staying out wide and trying to get into the byline so he can cross into the box. That's why Savio would be staying out wide so we can get to the byline and cross into the box. Now, when you see how different we looked yesterday, obviously, I'm not saying we're better. It's just a conversation that I'm starting. Do we look more dangerous when all these players are moving around and picking up different positions all over the pitch? Because there's no way you'd see Doku and Savio doing that at the back end of last year when we was playing this rigid system that we had. So is it a question of, do we look like a better attacking side when Haaland's not on the pitch? I know he come on in the second half and obviously got his goal and stuff, but when you compare last night to the rigidity of how we played in the back half of last season, it's night and day, man, innit?
Yeah, but it is. However, it would be night and day with Haaland in it now because we've got better players.
You could also argue and say we scored more goals while Haaland was on the pitch.
True. I think that was after, obviously, Juve had come out and I tried to come back into the game and things like that.
I think last season, I think we were probably a better team without
But when
Haaland,
you think back to Southampton and stuff like that, when you're playing against the low block and it's just, you just know what's coming over and over again. Get the ball, cross it into the box.
That's because we don't have the players, though. We didn't have the players last year to be able to unlock Haaland, whereas now, if you've got Reinders in there, he can do it. Rodri can do it. Ait Nouri can obviously play the pass, as we've seen yesterday. And then if you add in the fact that Savio and Doku are hopefully going to elevate their game this season, and we all hope that that's the case, and it's looking good so far, then all of a sudden, you've now got chance creation all over the pitch. We didn't have chance creators last year for Haaland. Who's creating a chance?
We had Kevin De Bruyne, the best chance creator of all time in the Premier League.
No, but not last year. He was on.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like,
and then on top of that, you've got Foden and Cherky and everyone else. So
I'm not saying that he shouldn't play, but I want to see more of this where there's a bit more fluidity in the way players move. I don't want it to be so one-dimensional next year where it's just literally cross to Haaland and pray for the best.
No, and it's not going to be that
are we?
because we've got
We're not
better
doing that
players. We've got better players now. And Rodri's back. He can find Haaland. He already done that once in this tournament. He put him through on goal. Haaland should have bagged. Reinders can do it. Yeah, Cherky can do it. The fact is, we've got better players. We've got better players now than we had last year. And the fact is, yeah, nobody could find Haaland last year with chance creation. He's already had 3 chances in this tournament. He's obviously not scored any of them. He needs to improve his finishing.
He nearly missed that fucking one last night.
Yeah, I know he did. But the fact is, yeah, he's only played twice now, Haaland, yeah. He's had 3 big chances already. All through balls. I think that's a site like people can moan about Haaland's finishing or whatever, yeah, whatever. But as soon as he gets a couple, bang, he'll be on it straight away. I just think the players are better. I think we've got better players.
I hope so.
Rodri's come back. Reinders is in there. You know, Cherky's in here. I think Foden's looking a little bit better, which is positive. And if Savio and Doku are elevating the game, I think it's going to be great, man.
I don't think there's no coincidence that Foden started playing better whilst he's got more hair and you've shaved yours. So that's got to stay like that, boss. You stay bald and he's got to grow his hair out, and we're going to win.
I think I've got a choice, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Hairline's moving mad.
Yeah. But go on, Bevel, bro. What was you going to say, man?
I was just going to say, like, you obviously mentioned about Savio and Doku sort of elevating their games and stuff this year. You know, and on top of that, you've got Foden who's looking to elevate his game. And on top of that, you've also brought in Cherky, who yesterday, you know, he just looked like he was just there for the vibes. You know, he was on the pitch like 5 minutes. 5 minutes and he was already megsing someone. So I just think like when we're playing with confidence, we all look better. Whereas if a couple of us are a bit sort of low on confidence, it can have like a real knock-on effect on the whole team. And if you look at, I was saying to Martin last night on the channel, it's not just about what we're doing on the pitch. It's also about what we're doing off the pitch. Like, you know, I don't think it's any kind of coincidence that City put out that video of Pep playing 2-touch with some of the lads on the beach. You had beach volleyball, you know, you had the yoga sessions and swimming sessions and stuff that they were doing. They all look happy. And I think that's like a massive part of it. I don't think last year that there was as much togetherness as what we've had in the past. And I think that's what we're trying to rebuild again. And you look at all the players now, they all look chilled. They all look happy. They all look like they want to be on the pitch. Like, just everything about it just seems like it's just miles ahead of where we were like this time last season. And I said that the telling thing will be looking at the score that we had against Juventus in the Champions League this season. You know, we lost 2-0. And then you look at, you can use that as a comparison of how we played last night. And there's just miles difference. Like we just look like a completely different team just by adding 3 players.
Nah, facts, man. And the thing is as well, yeah, we got to be honest, yeah. Rodri coming back obviously going to make a big difference. I mean, he's obviously not back at the top level yet because he's been out for a year. But even yesterday, I thought him playing that, bro. Yesterday that was his 3rd game back in this tournament. Obviously, played once or twice, whatever, before the end of the season. He already looks like he's playing better than all our midfielders were at the back end of last season or all last year anyway. And he's not even fit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how good this player is. So
he just demands the ball, doesn't he? And controls the whole tempo of the game. He's one that just doesn't go missing when push comes to shove. He's always wanting to go and get the ball off Ederson and the centre backs and look to turn. And if there's ever a time where you need to get out of trouble and not be caught on the ball like we constantly did last year, you give it this guy, man.
Do you know the other thing as well, which I noticed last night, which is miles different from, I was going to say last season, but it's still technically this season. Like, if you look last night, look at Reinders and the forward runs that he's making. So, you know how, like, normally we'd overload, like, the middle of the park. We'd overload the midfield by, you know, inverting our fullbacks into the midfield, inverting the wingers into midfield. I feel like we're doing that this season, but more forward. Like, I feel like you look at it last night, we weren't overloading the midfield. We were overloading the front 3. So you had like Reinders making runs to support Haaland. You had Ait Nouri coming into the middle and overloading, like basically overloading their defence. So I just feel like moving forward, that's probably something that we're going to see a lot more of, rather than overload in the middle of the park. Overload where it actually matters, when they've got 10 men sitting behind the ball and parking the bus and playing the low block against us. Having more players sort of in their box and overloading sort of their defence, it just generates more chances for us anyway.
But the thing is, you need to get more players in the box. We spoke about it so many times about last year. How many times did our wingers get the ball, Doku or Savio?
And you see the other one at the back post.
But that's what I'm saying. You look at Reinders last night; he was doing that loads.
Yeah, getting in the box, and it's no surprise, that like all of a sudden Doku and Savio are looking better. We're getting more players in the penalty area. Yeah, you're getting more players in the penalty area, and something I think Jay, you mentioned this as well on a stream recently. Is like, you remember when we used to have Sané and Sterling, bro? When Sané had the ball on the left,
Sterling would be making a run.
Sterling would get in as basically a second striker at the back post. Yeah, and then same thing when Sterling had the ball, Sané would get through the. You're not really seeing that from Savio and Doku last year. That's something that I really want to see now. And there's no excuses now, because obviously last year we didn't have fullbacks. So one of the reasons Pep might not wanted that to happen is because he wanted the players to keep the width. Because obviously if you put a cross in, the ball comes out. He don't want his player in the middle. He wants his player on the wing. Whereas now, Doku can get in the box when Savio's got the ball on the right. Because if the ball does come outside, you've got Ait Nouri holding the width as well. And you know what? Sterling, mate, how many goals did Sterling get from just getting in the box?
Literal
post, mate? Yeah, but they're important goals, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, people call these goals, stat pad goals or whatever. Bro, these games kill off. One thing that we should learn from last year is how many times we were 2-0 up, 3-0 up, and didn't win a game. Yeah, the third goal's massive because a third goal, fourth goal, it pretty much kills the game. Yeah, we've got to get these wingers to be chipping in.
You don't have to be 3 players and curl one in from 25 yards, do you? Sterling's made a career of having elite movement off the ball and scoring 1-yard tap-ins. That's all it takes.
Tap-ins, scruffy tap-ins.
All it takes. All you've got to do is gamble and be able to react and predict where the ball's going to go. And I think that's a skill that both of the Doku and Savio should both work on, because they'll score a shit ton, man, if they just gamble into the box that little bit more, like Sterling and Sané used to.
And you can just see as well, like Ait Nouri, what's he got like in the last 2 games now? He's got like 3 assists or something. 3 assists in his last 2 games. Because he made the assist last night for Doku, and I'm pretty sure he got 2 the game before.
Can't remember, bro, to be honest. Is that the 2 a.m. game?
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is what Doku said in an interview. He said, last season we already played together, but I think now we're adding more goals and assists to our account, and that's what wingers are supposed to do. And I think this tournament we're doing it, so it's good. This is the thing about Doku. I was having this debate this week, about Doku. People try to tell me Doku's not a G&A player. He is. That is literally his game. His whole game for me is to get output. Yeah, you look at like a Grealish or whatever. Obviously, that guy's never had output in his whole career. So he's obviously not a G&A player, yeah? He's obviously meant to bring other things to the team. Yeah, but Doku, his whole game for me is take the player on, score, or put a cross in and get the assist. And if you look at his numbers last year, they weren't even that bad. And I've said this bare times. If you actually do his G&A by minutes played, he actually got a pretty decent output. For me, it's more consistency. But I don't know what's happened, man. Me and Pulpy were speaking about this before we went live. So something's happened, mate, with Doku and Savio as well. But Doku, mate, I know I keep speaking about it, chat, but I think it's really important, mate, because if he gets even better, then we got one hell of a player on our hands, mate. I'll be real.
Life up, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man.
Joe Butters might have to shut down all his socials, man. It could happen. It could very well happen because this guy's going to cook next year, I'm telling you.
I generally think they've been told just to have a go. Send it. I think it probably comes from the new coaches and stuff. They just said, probably half of their thing is, look, we think we know a way to get the best out of these guys. And wouldn't surprise me if they said to them, look, just have a go and we'll defend you. Just do what you got to do. Pep's always said, I'll get you to the final third. And it's kind of been get to the final third and we've been suffocating ourselves with like the negativity around like Grealish, never wanting to take a man on. And that just slows things down. Where it's like these guys now are built to destroy people.
Do you think as well? All this stuff about Pep and like how he's a control freak and he kills players or whatever. Do you think, because obviously he's seen that, right? Do you think that part of him is like, right, I'm going to really just let you guys do what you want to do when you're in that
That's how he's always done, hasn't it, Pep?
Well, no, I know he has, but do you think he's emphasising it more than ever now because of all the shit that people
he knows
are saying?
It works. And he's got 2 absolute killers. He has. Our 2 wingers are on their day are killers. They are. Savio's shown it in little glimpses that, he can rinse people inside out. He just needs a season to settle in. Doku's had that season. Last season, he probably didn't do too well, but the absolute, if they're flying, if they're doing what they should be doing, which is what you've seen little glimpses of, they're doing that 4 out of 5 games, mate. That's going to be frightening because teams will not want. You caveat that with having Ait Nouri or Nunes who are willing to get round the, make that space and get round and put crosses and open up the gaps, and being a bit more brave as well. Doku taking a shot, last season he probably would have took that and knocked it across. And now he's thinking, I'm having this. I've got to do it. And the competition for places is there too.
He's got a corner last week just after making moves to that back post. Didn't it? He looks like a completely different player, man.
So just having 3 or 4 free players in there who are fresh mindset, who Reinders' forward passing is like unbelievable. Just
mate, he's a fucking player. He's such a good player, Reinders. What a bit of business we've done.
He's one of those that the rival fans and players and pundits and stuff are going to like, where City got this guy from? He was there all along. He was there. You could have had him. You just didn't want to take a chance and you wanted something more.
Yeah.
And I've seen them show that SBN slagging off saying he's not. Wait, give him a year. He's going to be one of those that's going to be instrumental to the way we play. What is he, 26?
Yeah, that Mark Ogden, absolute weapon guy, saying, he's saying, the signings are underwhelming.
Underwhelming.
You absolute weapon, bro.
What an helmet.
Honestly, man. Fucking
that's thing is, though, let him say things like that because all we're going to do is, if he ends up being underwhelming, which is probably not going to happen, but one guy's got it right, and it's going to. But the more chances are that we're going to be looking at a player in 4 or 5 years' time and I was going, fucking hell, they took the piss here. Look what he is.
The thing is, though, it was so obviously agenda-driven, because, like, anyone that's watched Reinders, last year, knows that this guy's a baller. I watched him about 6 times, 7 times, something like that, and I knew straight away this guy's a fucking baller, mate. Ait Nouri, anyone that's watched this guy knows his fucking quality, mate, And then Cherky, like, did you not just see what he did in the Nations League? Like, that should be enough. So for him to come out, on that show and say, the signings are underwhelming, and then all of them start chatting shit about, where are they all going to play in that, weapons, and I'm on that channel, mate, all year. I've got the receipts, mate. I'm going to cook them. They're already changing. That guy yesterday on the show.
I saw it last night.
Craig Burley was trying to big him up now.
Craig Burley had both his hands out on Cox glazing, didn't he? He was City are brilliant. He was going mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Probably changed his tune in a week.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm holding these guys accountable, man. Like they've already changed the fucking tune. And they don't know what they're talking about, mate. They don't know that fucking Scottish guy, who goes on there. What's his name? Nichols. He actually just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Is he the Liverpool one? Is he the Liverpool?
Yeah, the ex-Scouser,
he just doesn't actually know what he's talking about, bro.
He's a fucking pudding in.
This is
he's
the thing,
proper
man.
bitter. He's a bitter man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you watch that one that I did last week where they reviewed our Champions League win?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that was bad.
Because you also did a follow-on from it, didn't you? When they were talking about the Liverpool Real Madrid one.
Yeah.
And I tell you that wasn't even like close. Like they were saying, Real Madrid, they were a little bit lucky. Like he's proper glazing them.
Is this the guy as well, LB, who his favourite line is just, I just don't know where he's going to play.
Yeah. But then when they do it about Liverpool, it's like, they've got all these players on the bench as well.
Squad depth now they've been crying out for years.
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? And last night, that Craig Burley guy was going, and they brought Haaland off the bench as well. Like, it's like, yes, that's what you should have.
Which one's he? Is he the one that looks like a pudding?
I don't know if he looks like a pudding or what, bro. He's just a fucking. He just chats shit. But yeah, anyway, we'll have fun with that channel this year. We'll have fun. Let's have a look what you guys are saying. Smash these likes up as well, people. Get these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Shout out Charlie says, "Oi Baldy, Kufal overhated. Come outside." I think Kufal, mate, was actually overhated. I think he was all right, bro. I can't lie, man.
Is this fucking Bowen's biggest fan, Charlie?
Yeah. To be fair, Bowen has cooked, man. He's
he has. Do you know what? Since Charlie said that as well, he actually
he went on. Yeah, it's crazy.
He went on a bit of a run.
I don't know if anyone's going to go in a bid for him because he has been.
I keep hearing Newcastle, little Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle, that'd be a top signing.
That's all they
Newcastle.
need, isn't it? A right winger, Gordon, Isak, Bowen.
Bowen, wow.
How old is he, Bowen? Like 30 though. He's getting on a bit.
Nah, I think he's like 28.
Yeah, mid.
I think he's 28. Yeah, it's fucking unbelievable. But he's got a contract until 2030, so the price is going to
take cash as well. West Ham captain.
Is he captain? Oh yeah, he's captain as well. Yeah.
Almost as if Newcastle could do with a bit of cash in it, so they can spend it.
Yeah, and they're buying a. Yeah, I know. But
his misses, isn't he?
Nah, no. But like, bro, you got to think of your career. Nah, but the thing is, apparently they're going back in for Trafford again because obviously there was a bit of stalling on that deal. But apparently they're going in for Trafford and they're going in for. I can't remember who they're going in for, but they're going in for someone else as well. I can't remember who it was, but that's another like big fee. So yeah, maybe later on, who knows?
João Pedro.
Oh yeah, João Pedro. That's it from Brighton. 60, 70 million.
around Gay as well. I still think there's something.
Nah, I think he's going Liverpool.
Yeah. I see. I don't get that sign though because they've obviously got Kanate. I rate Kanate.
Yeah, but Kanate's only got a year after he's due.
Yeah, he's been tapped up.
He's going on a free next year. Like
he'll be going Madrid, and I'm telling you.
He is, yeah.
How bad is that, bro?
He's going to bounce out soon, speaking Spanish, isn't
he?
Yeah. Yo, mi amigos! And he's walking out.
No, I reckon he'll go PSG because I think Marquinhos is going to get off next year, innit? Because I think he's in his 30s, so I think he'll replace Marquinhos at PSG on a free, which is mad.
He is good, Kanate. Decent.
I like him. Yeah, a bit of an injury-prone player, but he is a good player, man.
Guy's a beast.
Big up LB says United paying 70 million for Mbuemo. They don't learn. Yeah, they're apparently paying him dough as well on a wages.
That's
because they know they'll pay it, though, innit? Brentford are playing them big time, man.
Oh, mate, they're having 70 million for him having an offer.
Oh, yeah, big time.
He's decent, but he's not 70. Oh, God.
They see the G&A, don't they?
Oh, I don't get it. How can they afford to spend 70 million on him when, like, they're making redundancies left, right, and centre? The owners come out and said that they're losing 300 million quid over the last 3 seasons. But they can go and spaff 70 million quid on one player and then 60 odd million on another. It just doesn't make sense.
Don't question it, Babel. Let them do it.
No, I know, but I'm sorry.
It's something stinks, doesn't it?
We get
on a moral level, it stinks, doesn't it? On a moral level, it stinks.
Spending 35 million on Turkey, but they can go and spend 70 million on Mbuemo, but they can't. They're laying off staff left, right, and centre. It just doesn't make sense.
You know what that is? That is stinks of a mid-table signing. But they need someone like that. Whereas there's no other club in the league would sign Mbuemo for 70 million other than United.
I thought Spurs might have done at one point.
No, Spurs ain't chucking that money at him. They might try and nick him for 40, but no one's throwing that much at Mbuemo. That's a crime.
Can they even do shareholder loans now? Because I thought,
but you've got to be at an interest rate that the bank do.
Yeah.
But paying 70 million for Mbuemo is an absolute crime. It's a crime.
It's hard, isn't it? When you've got someone proven and who's got a track record of putting up numbers in the Premier League, it doubles the value, doesn't it, really? Because they've been there and done it already.
If you're in Mbuemo, you go in there, you know full well you're just going for a payday, man. You know your career is going to tank. You're going to struggle.
Probably.
You have 2 or 3 years there and then just say, look, I tried while he's sat there riding out of town on a massive bag of money to Saudi Arabia.
Or he thinks that he's capable of taking them back up. Because
he might score 25 goals and he finished 11th. So what? Well done.
No, I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he should have waited for a better team, but it is what it is.
Let him have
Stay at Brentford.
Let him have him.
Yeah, money talks, man. Big up, smash these likes up, people. Big up Charlie as well. Says Bowen said he'd only go if the club forced him out. What the fuck? What the hell? Well, that's not going to happen, is it? So, yeah, congratulations to you, man. Smash these likes up, people, if you've not done so already. Reinder says, you lads, Ederson in or out? You know what's mad, is me and I did see any of your tweets, lads, but I know me and Jay both tweeted about Ederson when he said he's not going. And then for him to drop that error
Mate, I was cooked. Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell, Ederson, mate. What the hell? We've all been defending you on Twitter all day, and now you just fucking dropped a stinker. What are you doing?
Told you, didn't I? My first ever video that I posted on my YouTube and on the TikTok was about Ederson staying and how good of a decision it is. And then in fucking the first 20 minutes, he does that to me, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to delete it. But yeah, but I've watched a couple of things afterwards. Yeah, breakdowns of how we played and how we broke the press and stuff, and it's still exactly right of what we said it'll be. There's no one better on planet Earth to be a goalkeeper for Manchester City than Ederson. He's the reason that we can break through these teams that want to press us high. He's the reason that we can play these drilled passes through the middle of the park and pick out the striker.
Who was the pass to?
I think it was to Bernardo.
Was it to Bernardo?
But it was
it was to Bernardo. Yeah, sure.
It was only a yard too far one side when it's just got so much pace on it.
It's typical. Is not focused properly.
Yeah, he just tried zipping it in for him to play it off for the first time, hasn't he?
Yeah, the thing that pissed me off about it is he did the same thing about 5 minutes earlier, and I was like, you just got a warning, mate. That like that anyway. But anyway, even yesterday, some of his long passing yesterday was ridiculous. Absolutely exceptional.
Well, he set up the goal for the fourth one, didn't it? It was him who pinged it to Haaland.
Not just that, one-on-one save.
From Haaland, by the way.
Not just that one-on-one save was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
It's where he stuck his arm out. Yeah.
That touch of Haaland though. That Haaland touch pulls out of the sky like a dream, and then that when he scores that goal, it bounced off him about 5 times and goes off his shins. And it's like, how can you do that touch? And then when you actually paid to score goals, it's like bouncing off you.
Good to see he's got that first touch in his locker though, because I
think it was a coincidence more than anything, mate.
You don't see it often, do you?
Yeah, it was a class touch to be fair, but the thing is with Ederson is like. We know he's going to make a couple mistakes in that. Yeah, that is. But every goalkeeper makes mistakes, man. You know what I mean? But he does. He makes a couple mistakes, but for me, I think he's a net positive. The question is, he's a net negative or net positive? And for me, he's a net positive. Yeah. And then I say to this as well. I always say to people always go on about like he cost us Champions Leagues, and it's like, no, he's not, man. Like the thing is, people was telling me he cost us the Tottenham game. All right, then. But you completely ignore the fact that Pep started Delph at left back in that game after he'd already fell off as left back. Sergio Aguero missed a penalty, and Laporte dropped 2 absolute stinker and hooked errors in the home game that cost us 2 goals. Yet everyone blames Ederson, and I just don't fucking get it, man. Do you know what I mean? So
no one likes Ederson because he's not pulling saves out of top corner every game, is he? Because he doesn't.
He also won us the Champions League. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, but then people say, oh, well, actually, you know what I mean? It was, it had nothing to do with it. It's just like, get out of here, man.
If he's adamant, though, that he wants to stay, which, he come out and said to Sky Sports in that interview that he does want to stay and his head's with City and his future's with City, I need to see him sign another contract because I don't want us to go into the season because we've done it far too many times. We're a charity case.
He's going on a free next year, though.
I think he'll know that he'll get more money if he goes on a free as well. Wherever he goes and they don't have a transfer fee to pay, they're only going to be able to put it on his wages, aren't they? So it's a smart move for him to do another year and then potentially go because they'll be able to offer him a bit more money. But I'm just glad we're going to get at least 1 more year out of him, I think.
You'll know by the rumors will start in October whether or not if you sign another contract it'll be then. If not, then that's it.
Oh no, he's not staying.
No, you just never know. City might turn around and say, "Mate, look, we love you. It's $300 a week," and he might say, "You know what?"
No, they would have done that.
I know, but it's last year. You just never know. You just don't know. Do you? Viana's here now, isn't he? Viana's in charge of things. He might do it differently. I'd expect contracts to be done differently now.
Viana will put him on 50 quid in the Snickers at this rate.
Yeah, he probably will do. Guys, he'll probably accept it as well.
He'll back some of the money.
He'll probably get Ederson to accept it, man. But now I think he'll do 1 more year, and then I think he'll go next year on a free transfer.
He'll done 10 years then, right? Won't he?
I'm fine with that. With that. Let him go get his bag.
Yeah,
man.
Him and Bernardo and John Stones next year sail off into the sunset. That'll do me.
Oh, is it 9 years?
10 years. I think it's 9. He was one of our first. 9
years.
I
don't think he's done 10.
It's 9 years next year. 9 years.
Yeah, let him sail off. That'll do me.
He deserves a send off though, doesn't he? Like we've not seen a send off. Like we had the De Bruyne thing and all stuff like that. Ederson deserves a send off, man. And to go out on a high. What better way to do it than stay, win another Premier League, maybe a couple more trophies knocked in there. Let's give him the goodbye that he deserves as well. He's our greatest goalkeeper of all time, hands down, in my opinion. So
I think so as well.
I'm not having that comment that he's declining fast. No way. Absolute nonsense.
I don't think so.
He needs to. No, what I would say is he definitely needs to lock it in this year because last year I didn't think he was very good. If I'm being honest with you, but
everything was up in the air, wasn't it? And everyone was
declining.
No, I agree. But then if he starts off this season badly, then maybe he is declining. But I'm saying there's no evidence to say that he may just had a bad year, but everyone had a bad year.
Well, he's 31.
Which is young for a keeper.
Traditionally, keepers don't even start getting to the career.
No, I agree. I agree. But I'm saying he needs to lock it in this year. But I think he'll do one more year, and I reckon we'll go and get that Costa next year. Because that report came out last week, that said that Costa's prepared to wait 1 year. Which, and then a week later, Ederson comes out and said he's staying. I reckon he's probably told City, that he's staying for 1 more year. And then City have gone back to Costa and said, listen, lad, like Ederson's staying 1 more year, and Costa's just gone, right.
Do you think we're getting ahead of ourselves, though? Like, didn't Mahrez come out and say, oh, no, I'm going nowhere? And then, like, a week later, he was, like, gone.
He did say that. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, he did. He said to Sam Lee, you need to check your sources, bro. And then 2 weeks later, the guy had signed for fucking Al Ali or whatever it is in fucking Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, maybe. Who knows? But, I think he'll do 1 more year, and then I think he'll leave on a free. And the thing is, though, I don't mind him leaving on a free transfer, bro. Yeah, because at the end of the day, he's done what 9 years. He would have done 9 years. Yeah, we bought it for 30-odd million quid. We lose him on a free transfer.
That's more.
And then we go and get a new goalkeeper in. And the thing is, as well, next year there's not that much business that we actually need to do next year in terms of incomings. Yeah, because let's say we get a right back this summer. Yeah, all we need to do is get a centre half. We've got 2 in Vita Hayes and Jumabao right there. We might be ready. Yeah, so get your goalkeeper in. Maybe replace Bernardo Silva, and then it's just have Savio and Doku stepped up. If they have, you don't decide anyone. If they've not, winger. So you only actually need to. So I don't have a problem with it personally, man. You know what I mean? And like, bro, you let players go on a free. It means that they've stayed a long time, done 9 years. We've got our money out of him.
More than enough worth what we paid for him. He changed the whole way we play football, man, when Pep came in and made that decision to get rid of Joe Hart. The whole style of play from the under-11s all the way up to the men's team changed when Ederson walked through that door at Man City. And we've built this culture now pretty much based around how we play with a keeper like that. He's changed.
I disagree with you, Jacob. I think...
Come on, man.
That was Claudio Bravo. You're not going to like it.
Nah.
Bravo was absolutely shocking, but he was brought in to start that.
But we're talking where it succeeded.
Yeah, I know, but Bravo was the one that was brought in to start that playing out from the back.
Well, Ederson was that guy.
Yeah, he could. Bravo could do it, but he couldn't save a ball. Yeah, but that's so.
That you know what's mad is right when we bought Bravo in I thought, oh, this guy's fucking unbelievable on the ball.
It was at Barcelona,
bro. But then we brought Ederson in,
on the ball,
and then I remember seeing Bravo. Then I was like, shit, this guy's not. And it's like that's how good Ederson is. I still think Ederson's the best goalkeeper in the world on the ball. And people say Neuer. Have you actually watched Neuer? Ederson's better than Neuer, man, on the ball. Oh, yeah, he's better than Neuer on the ball, mate. Like I don't know if people.
Neuer's never had pressure of all time. Neuer's never had pressure to deal with in that league. He can play right midfield now and just soak it up. Ederson's.
I just think Ederson's so much more natural on the ball than any other goalkeeper ever.
He finished direct to people's chests under pressure.
You don't see Neuer spraying those 80-yard passes drilled 10 yards off the floor right in someone's chest, do you? Let's be real.
You could honestly play Ederson in midfield and you'd still get a decent game out of him.
The way he passes the ball, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I reckon he's got a sick fucking 30-yard pinger on him, you know.
Oh, definitely.
Marmoush style. I think it'd be class. But you know what as well, right? If you keep Ederson for this last year, as well, it gives you another year just to analyse the market, double check on this Costa, do some more scouting on Costa. What's this Bozo gene like? Do you know what I mean? Is there anybody else out there? For Bruggen at Brighton, let's have a look at him and that. Let's see what he's saying. Yeah, it just gives us an extra year just to make sure, because we've got to get that right, man. The goalkeeper, we've got to get that right, innit? So, yeah, I think...
see what happens when we get it wrong with Bravo. So
your season's finished. Your season's over. If you don't have a good goalkeeper, you can have whatever in front of him, yeah?
Look at United with Onana. Look at United with Onana, man. They're in
exactly. Onana, shit. You're not going to do anything. Yo, build Steve Lewis, man. Come on, bro.
Lad.
You need to get back. What is this, man? He's been in Croatia weeks now, innit? So we need your back, bro. Come on. Now, big up, bro.
Guy's got a working visa in fucking Croatia, man.
Yeah.
Went for 3 days, I swear. He's been there like a month now.
I do think, though, that we are quite fortunate where if we bring in a goalkeeper that just doesn't work, we've got a second choice goalkeeper that would be a starter in most teams. I don't think he's good enough to be a starter in our team, but I think
Costa. Oh, sorry.
Ortega. So you look at United, right? They've only really got one goalkeeper. They've got that Turkish bloke who
Bayındır.
Yeah, he's not. He's all right. He's not that good, to be honest with you.
I think he won Make-A-Wish, didn't he?
People are trying to get him call for him to be the number 1 next year. Bayındır.
That shows how bad Onana is.
Yeah, exactly. They're both shit. Let's be real.
So, like, at least if it didn't work out, we're not like in a position where it's like, right, you know, we're fully done. We've got a goalkeeper in Ortega who's not that bad. He'd start for most teams.
Mm. Yeah, no, I got cooked on Twitter when I said Ortega's can't be number 1. I said it like 7 months ago, right? Mate. It was just before that Ortega started having some not great games, and I put out on Twitter. I remember saying, because Tommy put out a tweet saying like, "Oh, if Ederson goes, I'll be happy with Ortega as number 1." And I said, "Nah, I wouldn't, bro. I don't think he's anywhere near."
No
good.
chance.
And I got roasted on Twitter about it, like, "You're just a hater." And then like he dropped some stinkers. He played the Brentford game when we drew 2-2, and he should have fucking saved one of them as well. And then he just fucking PR went down, man. But yeah, I like Ortega, man. But it's number 2 only, only number 2.
His drop-off's been worse than Ederson's have. People talk about Ederson dropping off and declining. Ortega's drop-off's been well worse this year compared to what he...
Well, I think he's going to go. Did you see his interview yesterday when he said basically like, "Oh, yeah, you're not seeing it?" No, he's come out basically and said, they asked him if he's going to stay, and he basically said like, "I don't really know in it, like, don't know what's going on in that." So whereas Ederson just come out and said, "Nah," Ortega come out and was like, "I'm not sure, I don't know what's going to happen." So I reckon Ortega goes probably like 10 mil, something like that, which is a free transfer.
Yeah.
Just go and get a second choice goalkeeper. The question is, who'd you go and get? If there's any English guy out there, that'd be good. Would you say? Yeah, I spoke to Nobbins about this. Would you take Ramsdale as a second choice?
No.
Second choice, yeah.
No chance.
Second choice, yeah. For him to hold bench, yeah.
Nah.
Absolutely no chance.
Oh, come on. He's good enough to hold bench.
He's shocking.
He's an international footballer. He played in an Arsenal team.
He's been relegated more than he's won trophies.
I know, but who's he played for? Who's he been relegated with, Bevo? He's gone to Southampton, fucking Bournemouth. Like, he's played for a load of shit. And I don't think he did that bad.
Like 6 last year.
I don't think he did that bad of a job at Arsenal, though. The only reason why they pulled him out at Arsenal was because they wanted a ball-playing goalkeeper in Raya. He didn't actually play that badly for Arsenal.
That's what we do, innit?
Yeah, I'd take him as a second choice.
I wouldn't take him.
He'd be third choice for me, and that'd be
I wouldn't take him.
No, it's shite.
I'd rather bring Scotty Carson back.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
man.
give me that Bayındır from United over fucking Ramsdale.
Come on, man.
Come on, Jay. What games have you been watching, man?
Disrespectful, that, to Ramsdale.
He's garbage.
He's shit, mate. He's fallen off big time. Yeah, anyway, I got some news, chat.
I said Kepa to ULB in the chat.
I would have took Kepa.
About a second choice goalkeeper.
I would have took Kepa. I'd take Kepa. I'm not taking Ramsdale.
People would have hated that. And now,
I backed it. I said I'd take Kepa.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd take Kepa as a back. I think Kepa's well overhated. Sorry, I think he's well overhated because of what happened at Chelsea. I think he's actually a decent goalkeeper. He had a good year this year. Anyway,
I think he had the best save to shots ratio in the league, didn't he, Kepa, this year?
Check this out. Yeah, I got some news, boys.
Oh, Bombazzo.
Oh shit! What? Oh shit!
The man has come to speak. Joe Buckfield, man!
I heard you start that, and I thought this can't be for me, and then there it was.
It is for you,
right, Joe?
Straight
off the bat, we want to hear your thoughts on Doku scoring again.
LB, get rid of all of us. Give Joe that moment.
take the floor.
Yeah, it's decent.
Oh wow!
Elaborate, Joe. Come on, at least 3 minutes to fill the floor here. Come on, mate.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I can't say he wasn't good. He was. I don't give a shit about the 2 games before Juventus because, like, you know, everyone should look good in those games, and also it feels a bit pre-seasony. But you know, the Juve game's like a legit match where you're playing against a decent side. And yeah, he looked good. I hope he does it next season.
Same.
Yeah.
You're so funny, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not getting hyped up by a competition I don't give a shit about. Playing against, you know, 2 of the 3 teams we played against have been awful. Like
Do you think that because you know what, Joe? Yeah, like obviously me, like I'm not. I said I think Doku, yeah, he's got to deliver this year or he's got to go, yeah. But
yeah,
something that I've said about Doku in these couple of games that I've watched him play is, I do think that something has slightly changed with him in the way when he's getting to the final third. Like, have you noticed that as well?
I think if he does a bit more like what he did against Juve, where he had, you know, he was cutting inside and had obviously his goal where Ait Nouri sort of looks for that run. And, you know, Doku's already said that he likes playing with Ait Nouri a little bit. And maybe that's a connection that we might see sort of develop a little bit. And I hope it, and I genuinely hope it does, because if we can get, you know, one of the things that we've missed since David Silva's left basically is sort of like midfielder winger combinations that have just kind of like not been really a thing much anymore. So if we can get that back in some form, whether it's Doku or whether it's, you know, any other winger, then, you know, great, because that's the kind of thing that we really need. And I think he's sort of, you saw with that goal that he's coming inside and he's actually, you know, taken his time with it and actually made the right decision, which was to shoot and put it in that far corner. Whereas a lot of the times, surely even Jay can acknowledge this. He's got the ball in positions that have been good positions and it's been very erratic and head down and you don't really know what he's going to do next. And I think if we can see a bit more of this controlled, you know, it looks like in these few games. I didn't watch the game that was on at 2 a.m, but the 2 games I have watched where he did start both of them, he looks like he's actually, you know, taking his time with it a little bit and, you know, getting on with things. And it's so, yeah, I mean, if this is something that genuinely becomes like the new Doku going into next season, cool. That's always been my problem. That his decision making's always been really awful. And I think if he can get good decision making, then great. But I'm gonna need to see him do it in the Premier League pretty consistently before I start to think that's a thing.
This is where I want us to take that decision-making off him more, though, because we've already highlighted that as a weak point in his game. Same with Sterling. When Sterling had too much time to think about a finish, he always fucking bottled it.
That's different, though, because Sterling was scoring even...
By him making the runs and us feeding him, he's got to make more runs off the ball and get into decisions like he did.
The thing is, though, even when Sterling's decision-making was horrendous, but it didn't matter because he scored 30 goals a season, so he didn't care.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. He needs to start doing that more. I want to see more movement off the ball, finding these areas, getting into the back post more, rather than giving him on the wing and asking him to beat 3 players. If we start seeing this movement more into the box and him cutting inside, I think he can easily score 10 plus Premier League goals.
And that's why I think Ait Nouri might be able to help him, because when Savio's got the ball on the right hand side, I want to be seeing Doku, and I'd say for Savio, by the way, on the flip side, I want to be seeing Doku be getting into the penalty area at the back post to get those tap-ins, because when the ball comes out, you've still got your width, because Ait Nouri will be there on the wing. You know what I mean? So we don't need to have Doku just chilling on the wing, man. I think Doku for me looks like he's ready to like put in a big year, man. And I think he needs to, you know what I mean? But I think I'm getting a little bit optimistic on this guy, man. I can't lie. Like, I know it's only a couple performances, and Joey's right. Like, it's a bit of a pre-season games, yeah. But I could, based off what I'm seeing, man, I'm seeing improvements already. Like, obviously, to carry that into the proper season and that, but.
Yeah,
I think he's ready for it, man.
I think my thing is
Jack as well in the chat as well. It was his first City game yesterday, so he went to the Juventus game last night.
Seeing that.
Oh yeah, big up, bro. Come on.
We're seeing in this tournament, and this is why I'm really sort of reluctant to really read too much into performances, that we're seeing so many goals, and that's why it feels pre-season-y. Like if that was a Champions League, we aren't having a 5-2 game against Juventus, are we? Like it's these are kind of sort of games and score lines that do feel like pre-season tournaments, and I don't know if it's just because players' heads are just like 5-10% off it a little bit, and it's becoming, you know, if you're an attacker who's 5 or 10% off it, you'll probably still as a team score a lot of goals, but if your defense is 5-10% off it, then they're conceding for fun, like as we saw last season, like that's just happening. So yeah, I'm going to need to see these kind of performances that we have been seeing from Doku, and not just Doku, like the entire sort of front line, like even Savio, like scoring that goal yesterday. That's mad. But I want to see him.
Unheard of, yeah.
But I want to see him. But I want to see him do some not that obviously, because that's like insane. You aren't going to see that all the time. But I want to see this sort of like, there's goals and assists and stuff become more consistent in the Premier League where it actually matters, rather than this tournament here where it's like if we don't win, then fine. So yeah, it's promising signs. Like all you can go with is what we've seen, and if Doku has a full season where he plays like he has done last night and also the couple of games beforehand, then great. I'll look like an idiot, and I'll be happy to look like an idiot because We'll
be ready. We'll be ready.
Believe it or not, I want City players. Believe it or not, I want City players to be good, but all I can do is say what I see, and Doku to me has not been good up until this point consistently. So yeah, please Doku, like do it. Make me scared to come back on these streams again.
Yeah.
Where's your boy right now? Why has he not been playing?
Who's that?
Jackie G.
Nah, he's got better things to do. He's doing his pre-season, mate. He's getting his fitness up at home. He's ready for a big season. He's just he's sat in his trophy room with his treble winners medals.
Big season at Oldham, is it?
Yeah, he's looking at that Champions League winners medal, thinking, "Oh God, I was integral to that," and just loving life.
As he should.
Did you see that City got Oldham in the
They do, yeah. They got under 21s in the
and
in the
Bolton
trophy
as
site.
well.
Yeah. So normally Oldham fans, like, I mean, to be fair, everyone in like the lower leagues, like the League One and League Two, they basically hate this tournament because the Premier League have kind of kiboshed it with the 21s. But I'm absolutely 100% going to that City under 21s game. Like, just
I've done a few of them over the years. I did Tranmere, done Rotherham twice. Done a few others
because the attendances are so bad. It's like a £5 for a ticket.
I did Rochdale a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's if you're watching, if you're going to be watching City's under 21s play against an actual like professional men's team for a £5, like sick. Like
one of the best aways. Right, we went to it was the first time we played Rotherham. Yeah, it was the last game. Yeah, and City needed to win, and we was losing. Right, in the last minute of the game. Yeah, do you know Benjamin Gare we signed? Who almost got us.
Oh my God, yeah.
He almost got us banned from transfers because we tapped him up when he was like 15 and we signed him illegally or whatever. He scored in the 90th minute. We took the game to penalties. We needed to win the penalty shootout, and Muric, who obviously is at Burnley now or wherever he's at Ipswich or whatever, he saved a penalty. We won it, and it fucking went off. It was actually sick. All the players ran over. It was only like 20 City fans in your way end, but it was actually
unreal.
Yeah, no, it was good. So yeah, hopefully we get. But you got to be careful because some of the games clash with the Carabao.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't clash.
So they end up having to pick. Like, are you taking the talented kids to the Carabao? Or are you taking them, or are you just letting them play in that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a madness. All right, chat, smash these likes up, man. If you've not done so already. City Slacker sent this in earlier on. Says, does all this highlight how far Kev dropped off last year? Maybe, but at the same time, he didn't have Rodri next to him. He didn't have Tijani Reinders next to him. And Savio and Doku weren't really cooking like that last year. So, yeah, obviously, Kevin De Bruyne did drop off last year, 100%. You know what I mean? But I think it was emphasised more than just because he was in a midfield with Kovacic and Gundogan, man. Mm-hmm. It just isn't very good. Like, it's just not. So
also, if he'd have played against Wydad and Al Ain as well, he'd have looked pretty fucking decent when he did the last couple of games. Like, the levels are different.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he would have. Let's see what this chat's saying, man. Smash these likes up, people, man. Bob also has better finishing. Yeah, but Bob's not. Bob needs to get fit, man.
People gas Bob up so much, man, when they've seen him play about fucking 20 minutes of football in their lives. Like, I don't understand it.
Nah, he's a talented player, bro.
Yeah, I know, but where have you seen it apart from in pre-season?
Academy, City.
What? I mean, we've seen people come from the academy that have looked good in the academy before, and they're shit.
But then not on the first team. He's also done it in the first team.
He scored that goal against Newcastle in the last minute. What else has he done apart from
Played
that?
against Brentford, looked pretty good. Coming against Villa was better than
pretty good. I'm not saying he's not a talented player. I'm just saying people have gassed him up too much on barely any watch time.
I think people are sort of like putting too much pressure on him. Yeah, but he is a talented player.
Someone said before he's our best winger. Like, how the fuck can you say that?
I think technically he's our best winger, yeah.
Everyone's just on this. Everyone wants the next Lamine Yamal. Everyone just wants that. So they see a young kid. It's just pure faith in a young kid, thinking he's the next one, the next
Is
Messiah.
Bobb considered homegrown?
Yeah, he will be next year. Yeah, or he might be this year actually. Yeah, he is. He's going to be homegrown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we signed him. When he was,
I mean,
16.
I think his broken legs are like the best thing that could have happened for his sort of PR with City fans, isn't it? Really, like we had a season last year where all of our front line was shit for most of the season, and then all of a sudden the guy who's not available becomes the best player on the planet. It's like, if we had him, like it'd be unreal. But yeah, I think he is. I mean, he's technically better than a couple of them.
He's just not played though, has he? Like,
No,
I don't understand.
But Pep wouldn't be keeping him around if he wasn't good enough. And if he's got the Pep, you can stick around seal of approval, and that's good enough for me. Because I think if he wasn't, then Pep would have him shipped out this summer, no problem. So yeah, that's. I think we just need to see him play a few more.
I
minutes.
don't want to
play serious minutes.
I'm more than happy for him to develop, and I want to see more from him. I'm just saying, like, you can't tell me that he's this fucking world beater until we've actually seen it in action. Do you know what I mean? People are putting too much like hope in this guy coming in and being like a mad world beater. Yeah, you can't put that pressure on the guy already. He's played like not even 1,000 minutes for the club.
Pre-season, him and Grealish were our two best players, and now everyone wants Grealish out.
That fucking says it all, doesn't it? So
so it's like, what you're basing that off was 4 pre-season games. He was decent. He would have probably played a lot of games when I got injured. But let's just be realistic and just not like get the super glaze out and just see like he's the next.
Yeah, just chill.
Let the guy play.
Build in. Yeah.
Let him learn that. Yeah.
Both got injured straight after pre-season, which derailed their entire seasons. Poor guys.
So, some careers actually, not just seasons.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Because they would have started last year as our two wingers. They were two of our best players. Bobb and Grealish were two of our 3 best players in that pre-season, and they both got injured straight away.
In pre-season, though.
That's about that comment there from Zach. Zach there, Bob equals Bitcoin in 2008. That is bang on. That is where it's like everyone's just trying to get on him early doors and hoping that he turns into something.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they'd have both got into that Chelsea game and started, then it would have been. You don't know how both their seasons could have gone. It could have been. It certainly would have gone better than it actually did, but I think Bob obviously out for however long, and then Grealish. I mean, we all know what happened with Grealish. His head was all over the place after that.
This is very true though. Obviously, because he broke his leg at such a young age, he's obviously gonna have to get over that and like get back on it. But just, he played all right when he's seen him recently. So we'll see how he gets on.
If he's got the potential, he will get back to where he was, and we'll see.
I agree. I'm always someone that's like, don't worry about these figures. If they're good enough, they'll get there. And when people talk about Foden and people always ask, LB, what's going to happen to Foden? It's like, if Foden gets back on a level that Foden can get on, he'll play. If he doesn't, he'll be rotated.
I've heard from both his ACLs before now.
He's done an ACL. I don't know if he's done both. But he's done an ACL.
2, hasn't he? Done it twice, has he?
I don't know if he's done 2. I think he's done it once. He definitely done it once.
He was at a level and has gone above it after having a massive injury, so he can do it.
Yeah, so that's why people are like, Rodri's going to be finished when he comes back. It's like, he's probably not, mate, to be honest with you. Like, he's probably not, mate. Like, no. The way that these things are done now, the sciences and all that kind of shit, like, players are, and he already looked miles better. Like, if you compare Rodri's first game against Wydad to the game yesterday, chalk and cheese, man. The game against Wydad, he was passing the ball out off the pitch and all that shit. It was so rusty. And then yesterday, I'm not saying he was like 100%, but he was miles better. You know what I mean? He kept the ball moving and shit. Do you know what I mean? I can't wait to have a fully fit Rodri back in this team. Fucking hell. He is such a good player. With Reinders as well. Oh my days. I mean, how good was it with... Bro, how good was it with Gundogan and him? That was a joke. Yeah. And now you're going to get Reinders, who might be better than Gundogan. Real talk, man. Like, it's going to be a cheat code.
Does he get a statue then, if he's better than him?
Well, let's go win me a couple of Champions Leagues. Win me a couple of two Champions Leagues and we'll talk.
The other thing that's really impressed me is you look at the game against Wydad. We had the starting 11. We had the next game against whatever they're called.
Al
Ain. A completely different 11. Like, every player was different. And then yesterday's game, it was kind of a mixture of the both. But there's still players that haven't played a single minute. So the depth in the squad this year is mad.
So who's not played a single minute then in this tournament?
John Stones.
Right. So I think he's gone. I think when Pep Guardiola's coming out saying,
is it not just because he's just come back though?
no, because he's been back for time.
Been back for
I know,
ages.
but he's not been back, has he? I know he's been
No,
training. But
He's been back. John Stones did an interview last week and said, "I'm fully ready." The fact is,
He's been back as long, if not longer, than Rodri, hasn't he?
Yeah, the fact is, one of our centre backs has got to go because we've got too many, And Pep Guardiola come out the other day and said, if some of these players want to stay, they can stay, but they're going to be very sad, because they ain't going to play. And he's the only player that's not kicked a ball, mate. I think he's gone. I think Pep basically saying to him, bro, like, sorry. And it's mad because obviously he's mint, but I think Pep has said it. He said it himself. He said, I want to keep players that can stay fit.
Mate, the guy's available for like 10 games a year. It's like,
he played less minutes than Grealish, man. He played less minutes than Grealish last year.
Yeah, it's mad.
You
can't have a player who, and look, I know that a lot of City fans, we all love him, like, obviously because it's John Stones, isn't it? But like, and it's kind of annoying that whenever he does come back, he's one of those players who doesn't need any time to sort of settle back in. Whenever those 5 or 6 games a season that he plays, he's world class John Stones every single time.
World class.
But you just, is 6 games worth 250 grand a week? Like, no, like, so he's got to go. And I think that, if you've got a player like that, and he's come out obviously and said, like, as Gundogan also has come out and said that they have no plans to leave and they're gonna stay. I think Gundogan probably will stay because Pep loves him and he's obviously been a part of this tournament. But the fact that Stones has been given no minutes after saying that he's keen to stay. Sorry, I think that says it all. Like I say, like Pep's got to. The thing that's annoyed me about this whole rebuild is that it's partly on Pep that we've got so much to do in one summer, and now we've got to get to the point where we're at the point where he's basically got to tell some of these guys, like, you can stay if you want, but you're not getting registered for the Premier. Well, John Stones is homegrown, so he will do. You can get registered, but I'm not. You're like 7th choice centre back even when you're fit. Like, I'm playing Kusanov over you. I'm playing Reece
Stones
over you.
is 7th choice when he's fit.
No. I'm saying that's the attitude Pep's got to give to these players who he wants out the door. Yeah. Because I mean, if he's not played a single minute in this tournament, and every other centre back that's there has, how much more obvious can you be that you are not the guy?
I think the difference is, because someone in the chat saying, "Well, LB, how come he's took Stones and not Grealish?" The difference is Pep. I think Pep is happy to keep Stones in the squad. Yeah, in terms of like, he'll let Stones know, via the minutes that he don't really want him here, because of the minute, because he's not fit, but he's happy to keep him around as long as Stones doesn't start moaning. Yeah, I don't think he wants Grealish around the squad. That's the difference. So he's made it abundantly clear to Jack Grealish and to every single football club in the world that this guy is available. I think that's the difference. He's happy to keep John Stones in the squad if he wants to be here, but he's telling him via the lack of minutes that you ain't going to play, mate. So if you want to stay, fine. But you're probably not going to play, mate. Whereas with Grealish, I think it's more like you can't be part of the squad. So you need to. I think that's what it is. Could be wrong.
Yeah, Grealish is obviously a case of like, you've had like 10 chances, and
he'd be on the piss in Florida if he was over there, man. He'd be on a crazy.
I don't think he would be while he's there for a small talk, because he doesn't do it on pre-season. Like, I think when he's in these kind of camps or whatever, like, it's fine. But I think it's just more the case that obviously throughout seasons and just generally his own fitness / availability for like other off-field reasons, like, he's had enough chances. Like, John Stones isn't a guy who's been given loads of chances by Pep and has just like squandered them. John Stones is just a guy who's never fit, and that's just something you have to live with. So yeah, I think Grealish is probably more easy to, or someone who would be more eager to get rid of in that sense. Whereas John Stones, really, the main reason why you want to get rid of him is because he's on fucking 250 grand a week, and that's money that you could easily put towards another signing, which is,
Yeah, but he is homegrown, right? So if you do get rid of John Stones, you've got to get another homegrown guy, and we're already struggling with that anyway.
No, you don't need to replace him. You're fine.
We don't need him. He's an extra body that the squad doesn't need.
You don't need to replace him.
He was on 250 a week, so that's what, 12 million a year.
Yeah.
Is it worth just keeping him around for that, just for one last year?
Or what though?
Just to be around.
No, because you've already got Diaz, Gvardiol, Huzanov, Hayes is now apparently staying according to the latest fucking rumours. And Ake, you don't need him.
I'd still lose a Kanji over Stones if it was up to me.
Me too.
I would, because
World class
not
John
homegrown.
Stones. If you can get a world class John Stones who's 30 plays 15, 20
Even
games.
if he played 15, 20 games next year, I'd still take him over Akanji.
15, 20 games is 15, 20 games is never happening with John Stones. It's 5 or 10. That's what we're getting.
Give me 10. Give me 10 over Akanji.
What about 5?
No one's going to take him on for them. No one's going to take him on, are they?
I'll do 7.
No one's going to take his wages on, so
That's
we're going to have to pay
my
some. We might as
I
well
think.
keep him around.
Well, I don't know, man. It's a bit of a weird one.
I think you could get a couple of Premier League clubs. If we're definitely not going to use him no matter what, and you've got like Everton were kind of semi-linked to them a while ago, weren't they? If you could get them to loan him for the last year and take like 75 grand a week of his wages, that's still that's still like 4 mil a year we're not spending.
Yeah, but if he's only going to play, if he can't play 15 games for us, how's he going to make play more for them? And we're still going to have to suck his wages up
It'll
anyway.
be 1 game a week.
Yeah, he's not playing the Champions League.
Less training intensity.
He's not going to
week.
play more than 1 game a week for us, though, is he? You're not
No,
going to play every fixture.
No, but it's probably the intensity in our training.
Yeah, it's Pep Guardiola training sessions are not David Moyes.
And if you heard, apparently it got even worse now. Apparently the intensity in training's gone through the roof since these new coaches have come through. Apparently the intensity's gone. It's got Jack Garn. He said the intensity's doubled since last year. So
that's good, man. That's good.
No, it is. No, it is good. It is good.
While we're on the subject,
fucking Gegenpress.
While we're on the subject of coaches as well, the one thing that stood out to me, you see yesterday when they were literally celebrating and cheering every goal, like that for me was massive, because we've not seen that for years. You know, Haaland scored from about 3 yards out where he kicked it from 1 foot to another and it just ended up going over the line. And you had Kolo Touré basically standing on the chairs, like screaming his bollocks off. Like everyone just looked happy.
I couldn't believe I could. It makes sense actually, but I couldn't believe the reports like earlier this week that like the coaching staff just basically stopped giving a shit last season. And that players found it like impossible to communicate with multiple of them, who are no doubt some of the guys who are gone. And that like they were, and that like the squad were kind of done with them by the time it got. It's just mad, like how, like but it's again it shows that, and I put this bit entirely on Pep. It's just like he's not just let the squad stagnate. He's let the backroom staff completely stagnate as well, which has got to a point where
but when you're winning, it's tough.
Oh, it's obviously I get why. I mean, personally, I think the playing staff side of thing is so much easier. And that's the thing that I find it less difficult to forgive Pep for. But I thought because the writing was on the wall with 3 or 4 of those players last season. But I think when it comes to the backroom staff, yeah, you're right. It's difficult for you to look at your current backroom staff that has coached a team of players to 4 leagues on the spin. And in theory, coaches aren't like deteriorating in the way that players are when they get like older.
It's not as visible, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So you're not thinking, well, these guys need to go and need to be freshened up. So I think that, if anything, last season's probably, it was fucking horrible and I hate it. And this is just me trying to cope, really. But it's in a lot of ways the best thing that could have happened in terms of actually forcing
100%.
a serious refresh of everything.
It's got to be difficult to be changing. We have one staff member who literally leaves every year, right? It's usually quite someone significant. Maresca, Arteta, what's it, Barella was he called?
Yeah,
we've had really prominent staff members just go off to other jobs, you know. So when they're your solid men around Pep and they're going and being cherry picked, you've got to bring someone in. It's never the fact that it's been so good for so long means that we've done really well to keep the right people. And eventually, it looks like the playing staff have gone. You know, like the playing staff have dropped off a bit. The coaching will as well, because you're just losing. Maresca was obviously a decent coach. You know, you're losing those and bringing people in, and it's like bringing people back just because he knows Pep and stuff. It's like bringing these lads in we've got now, like Pep Linders and Touré. They've obviously got personality.
Yeah,
and they're obviously good coaches, and they're not. What I imagine is they're not. They're going
to challenge
the piece.
Yeah,
they're going to say the piece and look, I'm here. I'll do my job, and this is what I think. Rather
Pep didn't need yes men last year when he was playing these same guys every single game. And he just would have had all these guys in the back room, like Lilo, go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you think, Pep. Yeah, you know better sort of stuff, yeah. We're in the shit, you know
now
better.
We've got these new guys that have come in now, throwing new ideas around, maybe challenging Pep, saying, I don't think you should do that. Let's have a conversation about how we can change this to make
Nico O'Reilly in the team, man.
Yeah, he needs people like that to challenge him.
I literally sat here on the last panel show and literally just said what you said, but said I actually think that the new staff that we've brought in is probably one of the biggest signings of the season. Not necessarily just the players that we brought in, but I think it's equally just as important the staff that we brought in and the high standards that they've got. Because you look at who we brought in. We brought in Pep Lijnders, who was Klopp's second right-hand man. Who was challenging us for the last sort of 5-6 years. And, brought in James French as well, who was their, opposition analysis. Like, I think that those signings in itself are equally just as valuable as bringing in like a Cherky and a Reinders.
Yeah, we've not brought in what we've done in the past years, where you just find out that somebody's been brought in. You're like, who's this guy? He's like assistant under 21s coach at Mallorca or something. To be brought in because he knows Pepper used to work with him somewhere. He's like, these guys are coming in on merit. They're good coaches.
Yeah, proven
good coaches. Yeah.
And if anything, that Liverpool team, man, and I know obviously they only won one Premier League against us, but they had fucking intensity, didn't they? Like the way they
if
played
it wasn't
football,
for us, they'd cleared 4 or 5.
Got us on the inhalers.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for us, they'd have cleared 4 or 5.
And I remember every game we used to play against that fucking Klopp team. It was a nightmare. They used to swarm you everywhere. Like,
and we've got the added incentive of now we've stolen 2 of their coaches and it's going to piss them off if we win.
I want to see our press be like that next year as well. High intensity. Don't just
it needs to be. It needs to be. But you know what another part is on Lijnders, is that I always go back to that interview that he did, and he said he likes playing with 3 strikers, not 1 striker and 2 wingers, and that should massively benefit Savio and Doku, especially with
like
Pep's
Mane
obsession of playing them inverted all the time.
Yeah,
you can already see that.
Well, yeah, again, is that down to Lijnders? Look at that goal from Doku. Look at that movement from Doku. Yeah, when's the last time you seen Doku do that movement? When's the last time you seen him take a touch like that and then bury it? Did he take another touch?
I'm pretty sure that Savio and Doku have equaled their goal scoring records last season in like the last 3 games.
Well, Doku scored 1 Prem goal last year in the whole season.
That's what I mean. He's just done that last night.
That's Savio, wasn't it?
Sorry, Savio, yeah.
And he just did that last night. So
yeah, it's even like, I think even if you look at the Foden goal where it was Haaland who played the ball through and everything, like we had 3 or 4 players like crashing the box when that happened. Like it's just we need to get to that's the one thing we've missed because like our midfield's just not had the legs to do it. So I think now we have like Reinders, like Foden hopefully looking like a bit more like his old self. We've got Marmoush on the pitch most of the time with Haaland as well. I mean, that'll be a big thing for the sort of the 3 strikers idea that Lijnders has. Like, if we've got Marmoush and Haaland on the pitch already, that's 2 of them there effectively. So then you just got to find which of the remaining wingers looks like the best sort of 3rd choice to play along with him. Which is maybe where I think Bobb could play like quite a lot there because I think that he's more of an inverted right winger anyway, whereas I think we talked about this a while ago that Savio actually played his best football as a left winger for Girona with a left foot. And then yeah, other than that, you've got Doku who can maybe do it, but if you've got I prefer Marmoush on the left, which means that you can't really play him and Doku there. And then on the right hand side, if you've got Bobb, who I think has been like who's also pretty good, more of the central, more naturally of a central kind of winger. And has been, I'm sure Pep's talked about playing as a false 9 before and stuff like that. I think hopefully, if he gets some minutes as like one of a more narrow, if you've got that narrow front 3 of Haaland, Marmoush and Bobb maybe, then that could potentially look really good. So it'll be good to see how.
Yeah, but just real quick,
what the combination actually ends up being.
Real quick on that, yeah. You know what, actually, bro? I don't actually care, mate. Yeah, because the reason I don't care is because if all of them are playing well, then I'm not asked. Because at the end of the day, then we're picking players who are playing well, are in form. Where I have a problem,
last season.
That's exactly right. Where I have a problem, with the attackers and the players we've got, is where we've got a lot of players who are just a bang out of form, and like one guy might have a good game and then he's dropped for the next game. Yeah, so I'd say bring it on. Yeah, Marmoush, what have you got for me, mate? Because if you don't play well and Doku starts cooking, then you need to up your game. Same can be said about Doku. Savio on the other side, Foden, you're going to have to do a lot better than last year, mate. Otherwise, you ain't going to get a kick of the ball, mate. Yeah, I say bring it on. Yeah, let the best players play. Let's start picking players based off of form. Yeah, And if you don't play well, you're benched for the next game.
I think
The one thing I've noticed-
basically every winger last season was kind of just being picked on like by default, like last season. I think there was a couple of purple patches for Savio. I think Doku had a few games where he actually looked good back to back, but I think other than that, it was just pretty much just like fuck it. Like whoever you play, it's just like a dice roll in it for most of last season.
I
It was
mean,
really bad.
I don't want players picked on the wages. I don't want players picked on the wages or whatever. I want players picked on who's playing the best, who's in the best form. Pick those players, or pick the players based off of the wage.
The other thing that I've kind of come to realise as well is I don't think Marmoush can play the 9.
I think it's
Like-
more false 9, isn't it?
Yeah,
You can play a version of a 9 that we don't really get much out of.
Yeah.
I don't mind him in the false
Yeah.
9 when we're all moving around and fluid and a bit like.
Yeah.
Not a 9, though.
with it, but not
Ironically, that might
not to
actually
say-
look better next season because if we've got midfielders who can actually do something ahead of him, then that might be fine. But I think it's more the fact that last season when he was doing it when Haaland was out, he had the unks behind him who were not doing any sort of running into the box whatsoever,
Or
so it didn't
creating,
look
or
good.
doing
Yeah.
anything.
Well, a lot of the
But-
time, Pep played fucking Kev in the 9. A lot of the time, didn't he? And he had Marmoush like on the left. It was De Bruyne that he was putting as the main man in the middle.
The problem that you've got with Haaland, as a striker, because I completely I don't think Marmoush is a 9, but I agree. The problem you got with Haaland is exactly the same problem that you've got with Rodri, in that he's so good that you can't really get a backup because the backup's just never ever gonna play, and that's probably why we didn't go and get Zubimendi, man. Because if you got Zubimendi, he's just never gonna play when Rodri's back, innit? And that it's obviously good because they're mint, but at the same time, because they're so good, you can't really get a backup for them. Do you
You
know
can't
what
get
I'm
a
saying?
Scott
you also-
Carson. You
you
can't
also
get a
can't-
Scott Carson to play up front, can you? You just can't get someone who's willing to sit on the bench and just
What I
eat
will
money for
say
3 years.
Do you think that Marmoush is an improvement on Alvarez?
No, nowhere near.
No,
I
I don't think it's even close.
I don't think they're the same player.
I don't think they're the same player, but I'd probably say probably not. I feel disgusting saying that because I do like Marmoush, but if I'm being honest, I'd probably say Alvarez is better than.
I'm just going off like you look at what we brought in Alvarez to basically do what Marmoush is doing now.
Yeah.
Like so when
Alvarez got bored of
went-
it, didn't he? Didn't want to do
Yeah.
it.
For me, the Alvarez we had, the one that left, and Marmoush are probably very, very similar in terms of what they can do for the team.
I
However,
think
the
so.
Alvarez that is
I think the
the Alvarez now is I'd take Alvarez.
The difference is though, Alvarez is clear of Marmoush as a striker. Yeah, as an
100%.
actual
When he came into cover for Haaland as a 9, he actually looked like a 9. He was just he is because he's incredible at it, and I think that's the thing that Marmoush
in this
is.
role that we've got Marmoush playing in. I don't think there's too much.
Marmoush
to
shoots
it, but
better from what we are now than Alvarez does.
I think Marmoush has got more to his game, like running in behind and like playing like he can play on the wing, and so I don't think I'd fancy Alvarez to play on the left wing like Marmoush has. So I think they've both got the qualities that kind of outweigh each other in aspects. So.
It's
But on the
actually
other hand,
a good poll though. This.
But on the other hand,
this chat.
On the other hand, though, I think Alvarez played so much more naturally central and got so many more assists out of that. But like, even when he wasn't scoring goals, he was getting like that last the treble season. The numbers that he put up in that year were ridiculous.
Probably a better footballer all round. Yeah,
it was 100. Yeah, it's just like
stuff like that.
Yeah, for me there was just it's just there's no contest really in terms of
Marmoush has probably got that like explosivity, that it factor a bit more like.
He's got a goal. He's got the goal season, man.
He's Marmoush is a guaranteed like 20+ goal a season guy, which I think is great and what we need. But I think Alvarez was like probably guaranteed like 25.
Put it this way, I don't look at Alvarez now and go, "Oh, we've downgraded on Marmoush."
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think
whether Marmoush is better, I don't know. That's for everyone else. But I don't look at Marmoush and go, "Wow, that's a downgrade on Alvarez." I
think Marmoush has more to his game in the sense of he can take a good free kick, he can take a good corner. Like, I just think he has a little bit more.
Yeah, you're not seeing Alvarez's free kicks. Alvarez
was mint at free kicks and corners.
I agree. I just think Marmoush is just a slight bit.
Marmoush is better on free kicks. Yeah.
Are you really on free kicks?
Oh yeah, bro. Do you not see how many he scored for Frankfurt last year?
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen Alvarez's free kick the other week for Athletic?
No, they're both good, but I'm telling you, I think Marmoush is better.
Marmoush is a ball better. A lot better.
And on that note,
he probably strikes the ball better, but I don't know, free kicks, man.
What's it called? Pierce. Bella, what's the coach called we got from Liverpool?
Oh, French.
French. Yeah, Marmoush on corners, mate. Yeah, get Marmoush on corners.
Did you see that stinky?
I seen the first one I took last night. Though that
Did
one.
you see that stinky Bernardo Silva
Oh,
kick last
bro.
night? Oh,
There's
mate, I was
no
just
way.
like, no.
There's no way we're gonna go from Kevin De Bruyne corners now to Bernardo Silva's corner. Get
Why is he
fucking
on set
Marmoush.
pieces?
Get
Why is he on
Marmoush
set
on him.
pieces?
Marmoush corners, man. Yeah.
He took one last night. He took one the other night, mate, Marmoush. That literally bounced
wasn't
3
great.
times before it hit the front
Yeah,
post.
it wasn't. Listen,
I like Foden's from the right hand side as well. As Marmoush from the
swingers,
left
yeah.
in swinging.
I agree.
Foden from the right in swinging. Get like Guardiola attacking that front post and shit like that. Like
I want to see Ait
whip
Nouri
across.
take a corner. I think he's got one hell of a cross.
Probably.
Nah, I don't know if he's got the pace on the delivery. Marmoush.
It's a bit harder
Marmoush,
it's a bit harder from a dead ball situation.
Yeah,
isn't
dead
it,
ball,
though, I
yeah.
think. You need those guys that have got that fucking whip.
You know what
on
I'd
top.
do with Ait Nouri, bro? Yeah, I'd have him on the edge of the box, ready for the rebounds to like swing it back in because he's good at those. By the way, yeah, his crossing ability is fucking
unreal.
ridiculous. Yeah, we not even spoke about him. One sec, boys. We got another addition to that panel. Come on, man. Big up Tarek.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Come on,
What's
double
up, fellas?
shift, man. Come on, bro. You saying you good? Yeah.
Yeah. Glad to be
Good.
here. Everybody doing
Good.
all right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're good, man. But just I want you know what? Let's do some Ait Nouri glaze, yeah, before we switch it
Happily.
up and go to the right back. Ait Nouri, but let me start off with you, Tarek. Yeah, I don't know if we spoke about it last night. It was fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, so I can't remember. But yeah, Ait Nouri, lad. What are you saying?
I love him. I think his on-ball ability, his ability to keep the ball, step into midfield, bomb down the wing. He is, I think I saw someone say how he's like perfectly built for this system, this Pep system, and he's kind of like the prototypical Pep left back. But I almost just like, why didn't we identify this kid sooner? Why didn't we go get this guy sooner? Because he feels like a perfect fit. It feels like he unlocks Doku so much, and I think he's gonna be. I'm not gonna say he's the best player out of our additions from the summer, but he's the one that I'm most excited about. Personally.
I agree, Tarek. I'm on that side as well.
Yeah.
100%.
I just love what he brings, and it's just really exciting to watch. So, we just got to get through Club World Cup, everybody healthy, and I think we're gonna have an amazing season.
Though when he gets to the byline and just lifts the ball, and I'm like, fucking hell, 2 crosses, both successful yesterday.
See that 3 minutes into the game, Bernardo Silva on the edge of the box when he scored.
Yeah,
like 3 minutes.
He had 2 crosses yesterday, both successful. I was looking at the stats last night on his game.
Yeah,
100%
pass rate.
Yeah, 100% pass accuracy yesterday. 2 crosses, both successful. And
these aren't just passes sideways and backwards.
No,
this is like
passes.
Defense.
Look at the assist to Doku. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant signing.
Baller.
And it's just nice to finally have a left back at the football club, man. It's top.
Yeah, he's not just a left-footed player, is he? He's a proper left back.
Yeah.
He's
already good.
Left-footed players playing left back, haven't we? Just because they've got a left foot.
Yeah.
Now
we've got Mahrez at left back, boys, on steroids. Like this guy,
it kind of feels like that.
He plays like Mahrez, he dribbles like Mahrez, but he's a defender. It's crazy. Like
he's a freak, isn't he? He is a freak.
He's a freak. He's gonna.
Did you see what he come out and said? So he come out and said that basically Pep's just giving him the freedom to just basically do what he wants.
Yeah, mate, he's a joke.
There's a lot of people saying. There's a lot of people saying that.
Wide. He just don't.
I'm pretty sure LB made a comment actually on it saying, it's another player that. I think you made like a sarky comment on it.
Oh, it's funny, because no one on Twitter fucking gets sarcasm. Do you have sarcasm in America, Tarek?
Of course we have sarcasm.
Bro, whenever I put out a fucking obviously sarcastic comment, the amount of people in the fucking comments that are like, what the fuck are you saying?
There's a British sarcasm and there's a world sarcasm, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah, we just take it to the extreme, man. Now, but I think he's brilliant. And I genuinely believe, that in a year or 2 years' time, we could potentially be looking at the best left back in Europe, man. I genuinely believe that is the prize with Ait Nouri. And I think he's 24 now. He's only 24. Like, it's just fucking unbelievable. The price we got is crazy, mate. Yeah, and I just think he's a baller, man. And he's going to get GA as well, as well. The question is,
where's he going to play, though?
Where's he going to play?
Where's he
Left
going to
back.
play? Nah, he's doing it. He's doing the ESPN thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Fucking
See, I didn't
Nichols.
catch the sarcasm.
Yeah.
This is a problem. Us
Where's he
Americans,
gonna-
we're not very quick on the
team,
upkeep.
though? Where's he going to fit in?
Where's he going to fit in the team? Underwhelming signing. Yeah, get out of here, man.
Sorry, I just
Nah.
heard the words and I immediately almost blanked out. So sorry.
Yeah. Now the only thing that I'm like still waiting to see is this defensive thing, because I can't say that I've seen him enough yet to say that like I know definitely he's not a shit defender, but there are a few people out there that have watched him say he's defensively a bit washed. So I don't know. We'll see how he gets on there. But as I've
That's
said,
the narrative around every fullback that
I know. But I've also said, Jay, I don't need him. I don't need him to be like prime Kyle Walker defensively. I just need him to not be dog shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I bought him because of his technical ability. I bought him because of what he does going forward. If I've got a really tough game where I really need to lock it down, you know what I'll do? I'll stick Nathan Ake left back, mate. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So don't talk to me about defense, yeah? Just to be a competent defender, give me attributes going forward. And if I really need to, if I'm going Bernabeu and I need to lock it up, yeah, and play low block, I'll play Ake left back, mate. Yeah.
I also think that if you've got, I'd hope that we'd move to something a bit more treble season-ish, where if we have someone bombing forward on one of the sort of fullback sides of things, then we just have the other three defenders in the back four just basically shift around to cover that space, so that it doesn't matter so much if he's pushed up, then that space is covered basically, and it's going to be fine. So if he's not defensively in the right position a lot of the time, then fingers crossed we've got a defense that's actually sort of positioned to deal with it, rather than just letting him bomb forward free and leaving the entire left hand side exposed. So yeah, I think he's unreal. I think it's. I remember it must have been like February or March time we did a panel where we were talking about, like, so obviously we had the Cambiasso links in the January and stuff like that, which came to nothing. And I remember us sat here saying, like, why are we not even looking at this Ait Nouri guy? Because like it is just it was so obvious.
Well, we were apparently, according to the guy in France.
They say, didn't they?
Yeah, that president of the club in France who like had that sell-on clause said that City and Wolves agreed a deal, but it didn't get the paperwork.
It just didn't even happen. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it would have been nice to get him then, but I suppose if we did get him then we'd have seen absolutely.
I was probably
Nico
watching the
O'Reilly,
panel show going, we tried, we fucking tried.
Did. Yeah, but I think
we tried, dickhead.
So yeah, so it's a good thing that we've definitely that we've got him through the door, because he looks ridiculously talented, and I think like I say, his age and sort of that long term ability to be a part of the team is.
What was our left back last
unreal.
year before O'Reilly?
Guardiola, wasn't it?
Guardiola, yeah.
Oh yeah,
and then he just got shifted over into centre back to accommodate O'Reilly.
Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look at like areas of the pitch last year and compare it to this year. And the upgrades that I'm seeing around the pitch and little pockets is insane. So I'm looking at this year's left back and left side of centre back. Last year it was O'Reilly, who did a good job, right? Obviously he's not left back. Now it's going to be Ait Nouri and Gavardio. That's going to be mad strong, yeah. Right back, we'll come on to that in a second. Well. Midfield, we was looking at Kovacic, Gundogan and Bernardo. Now we're looking at Rodri and Tijani Reinders. Yeah, we had a decline in Kevin De Bruyne, with all due respect. A Foden that was bagged off it. Now we've got players like Cherky, Foden that's looking a little bit more lively. Doku and Savio are looking more lively. Marmoush is going to hopefully come into this season just fully cooking. And then hopefully Haaland's going to be back at it as well. I'm just looking at it thinking, the upgrades on the team are just look mad, They do look insane. And obviously now you look at the game yesterday and we just fucking cooked the way we played. Like that game, I said it so many times. I've not seen us play like that for ages. Like, where I actually enjoyed the game. Yeah. Like, I come away from the match thinking, bro, I actually really enjoyed watching us play there. Like, as an entertainment.
I messaged Luke after the game and said to him, I've not seen us play like this for over a year. Easily.
No, I agree. And you know what? People will say Newcastle, but Newcastle we battered, but we didn't play like saucy football, if you get me. We were efficient. No, it wasn't vibes. It was just efficient, and Marmoush just done a madness. Yeah, like we actually playing some nice football, but obviously it is. I know I always get these people in the chat who are like, "Oh, but it's only Club World Cup. You need to chill." No one's fucking saying we're going to win the quad yet. All we're saying is that like it's positive and things are looking a little bit better. Let's come to the right back situation then, boys. Yeah. Nunes, obviously, Pep glazed him last night, big time. So the guy's mega. He got 1 official assist, but 2 if you include the own goal. where are we at here now with you guys, lads? Because obviously me, Tarek, and Danny had a bit of a chat about it last night. But what are you boys saying on the right back? Do we need a right back? Are you happy with Nunes?
I really think we need a right back. I think that Nunes is just not the guy. He's good going forward. He's got a good like cross on him, and sort of that athleticism to get forward is great. But we saw too many like bozo moments last season. Like seriously, and you know, really we're coming into this season off what has ultimately been 2 months, maybe 3 max of him being like a decent, like serviceable right back, and now we're sort of having people saying that we want to take him into this total complete season as our starting right back. Like I just cannot understand that logic at all.
I think that's him learning the role, like because it's not like he's ever really played right back before. He kind of to do a job, and now he's just gradually getting better game on game. I do think we need one as cover. I think if we get one and we're spending 80 million on Livramento, I think Nunes will be the cover right back. Yeah. But I think you can't rely on Rico Lewis. He's just not good enough to play right back. You could probably argue and say you could put Husanov there because he's got great recovery pace. But again, when I'm seeing Husanov play, like he's looking nervous. Like he played the other day, and for the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, like he was making like really shabby, like loose passes. And he just looks like a bit nervous, and like that's fine because you know he's still a young lad. But I wouldn't want to just like chuck him at the deep end and say, right, you're the backup right back.
I want a right back. I want a guy who's played a right back.
I agree. I do agree. I do think we should definitely get a right back. Now, where I stand with the Nunes thing is, I'd be more than happy for him to not go into next season as the backup right back. I'm quite happy for us to bring a right back in, say Tino Livramento, for example, and use Nunes in half the game, split it. If we're playing against low blocks and against teams in the bottom half and teams that you need to break down, who better to have than Nunes bombing up that right wing, man?
Livramento. Liverpool's better than Nunes.
He can't go forward as well as Nunes can, Joe.
I don't think we need that.
Yes, he can.
No, we can't.
He was cooking for England under 21s, man. Like you want to see
don't talk to that under 21 tournaments, man.
Yeah, don't talk about under 21 tournament where I scouted the next Ballon d'Or winner, Claudio Echamesi.
You're gonna start we might as well keep McAtee then. We'll keep McAtee.
We got to the final, Jay. The final tomorrow against Germany, man.
He's a 23-year-old playing against kids. Right.
Do you know what though? Like, I don't think we need a right back that can bomb forward because we've got that from the Ait Nouri side. So what you don't want to do is you don't want your right back bombing forward and your left back bombing forward.
No, but you want the option.
You need the option. What if Ait Nouri gets injured and we just haven't got an attacking fullback in the whole squad anymore? We've just got 4.
Well, you know what?
Nunes is disrespected, man. I'm sick. I'm actually sick of it. How disrespected this guy is. Like
we were happy to have. We were happy to have a team.
Like I'm being serious. So like, and he's played the position for 6 months, and everyone's still like slagging.
And he was shit for 3 of them. And for 3 of them,
he's only getting better. He's only getting better, and we've seen what he can do. Look at the game last night. Like even in the last couple of games of last season. Go and watch the FA Cup final with fucking Akanji at right back, and then watch the next game. But I don't want Akanji at right back either. Like, so it doesn't matter. Like, just because like Nunes not being there doesn't mean that every other option is shitter. Like, I want Tino Livramento at right back, not Nunes. And Tino Livramento, no matter what you say about him going forward, is 100%. Multiple hundreds of percents better than Nunes at right back.
What I would say though to Joe, to your point earlier, and I was going to say it earlier, you said, you know, he's only been good for 3 months or something to that effect, right? But what I would say to Jay's point is that it's been the most recent 3 months. So to Jay's point, and I agree, I think he has improved. Yeah. He's better today than he was when he first got into the position. So I think So I don't think anyone would say if we had an option to bring in a what we believe to be a better right back. No, I don't think any of us are against it, particularly with the need for, homegrown talent. But I don't think the situation is as dire as maybe we are making it seem.
That is it, Tarek.
We've seen Pep take, and we have a proven history of taking people, playing them out of position, particularly midfielders, and being able to do a job, whether that was Zinchenko, whether that was Fabian Delph, whoever it might be. So I think that I trust that if we can't go get the right person, we shouldn't panic buy and just go get any old right back, whatever. Right now, and I'm not saying that you're saying that, but I think we should go get the right person, or we just trust that he's gonna be able to do a job until he's not able to. And again, there's gonna come a point in time when Zinchenko, we had him for 2 years, and again, using the Zinchenko argument, I appreciate that Núñez has been willing to fight day in, day out for his position. He has, because again, I think in the beginning, all of us said and Mac won't speak for you all, I said he's not good enough, he needs to go. And he's been willing to fight just like Zinchenko was. Does that mean that he's our right back for forever? No. But I think for this season, if it came down to it, I think he could do a job. And just like we said with Ait Nouri, if we needed to lock down the right side, we could put somebody else over there. I don't know who, to be honest with you, at the moment. Maybe it would be Kuznetsov because he's probably a better defender. But in a game where we are historically going to have 65+% of the ball, I think he can manage in our team. Maybe not everybody else's team, but in our team, I think he'd be okay.
I just personally want us to not go. I just want us to go into a season where we actually don't have to make do in a position, and we have them, and we have the money to do that. And personally, I think that obviously Livramento is the perfect solution because he's homegrown. It means you don't have to really get rid of anyone. You can keep Núñez around as like the backup right back, cool. But I personally think that there has got to be a non-homegrown right back somewhere else who can do a better job than Núñez at right back. And if we get him, then you cannot keep Núñez, because Núñez is homegrown and the squad numbers literally don't allow for it. Now, I would personally think that.
What if you get a right back who's non-homegrown?
I'd get rid of him as a non-homegrown right back.
Yeah, but or anybody. What if you sign a right back who comes in and you're going to take a year to bed in?
Then cool.
Right back. You might as well just stick with Núñez until
you get rid of Núñez this summer.
The point I was trying to make.
I'd get rid of Núñez this summer if there was a right back identified who is non-homegrown. Yes, 100%. Yeah. If there's say Wesley, for example, Brighton are after him. So for me, that says to me, just buy him, because we're going to want that guy.
You swap Núñez for Wesley?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I would.
That is fucking.
I've never seen Wesley kick a ball in my life, but I'm convinced.
Based on what though? Based on what?
Right.
Based on the fact that he's on Brighton's database, that's what it is.
That's also true. Yeah. Based on okay, ignore Wesley then. Take Wesley out of it. Whatever, fucking hell. But so let's just say that.
Aina,
no, I'm not having Aina. Aina's just worse than Núñez.
You wouldn't have Aina, but you take Wesley.
Right. The point I'm making is that if there is a non-homegrown right back somewhere, and no one can convince me that there is not a non-homegrown right back better than Núñez out there. There is 100%.
Would you take Diogo Dalot over Núñez?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
it.
No, I wouldn't take him. No, but if you're asking me who's a better right back, there's a different answer.
Don't say it.
But the point I was trying to make before, when Paul said before about because I said we don't want a right back that's going to go bombing forward. We need a different profile. The point I was trying to make was because Paul said, "Oh, but what if Ait Nouri gets injured?" We need a right back that can come in and be an actual just right back rather than a player that can go forward. Because what happens, right? When you've got Ait Nouri bombing forward, you don't want a right back that can bomb it forward as well. So what you end up doing is you end up just having two centre backs, and that's it.
No, but I think
Let me finish.
All right, Jesus.
Well, I'm not being funny, but every time I talk, you interrupt me. So can I just finish? Right.
All right, go on, Bevel.
So what you want is like Paul said, if he's injured, you've already got Núñez on the right who can bomb it forward. So what you then do is you then just stick like Ake at left back to still keep the 3 at the back. So you haven't got 2 bombing it forward at the same time. I think Nunes, you've got that right back that can bomb it forward. I think you just need a different profile of player to play at right back. So you're not basically having two of the same. You need to have something a little bit different. And I think that Wesley is pretty much the same as what Nunes is. So I agree.
Just not as good.
If you get Livramento as well, by the way, he can also play left back. So then, if Ait Nouri does get injured, then you've got your three fullbacks. Then it's Livramento, Nunes, Ait Nouri. There for me, like your three, and obviously you've got Ake who can fill in at left back if you want a more sort of like more chill sort of defensive left back man.
Livramento's the perfect solution, basically, because he's homegrown. It means you don't have to shove Nunes out. It means you don't have to do anything like that to sort of move around squad numbers.
He does both sides of the ball as well, which is good, isn't it? And
exactly.
I fully want Livramento, Joe. I'm not denying that. I fully want this guy. I just don't think it's as life or death as everyone's making it out to be. I really rate Nunes that highly, and I really rate that his ability to fight for his spot and for him to improve in that position that he's only played for 6 months, that I don't think it's as life and death as everyone else is making out. Because I really like the guy. I think he's a top player.
It's not like we haven't got an option at right back, is it? We're just desperate for someone.
Yeah.
I just think it's a case of
options.
Yeah, we've gone into, as sort of Tarek said before, we've gone into a lot of seasons where we've had Delph at left back, Zinchenko at left back. We've made our position work. Like we've done something that's kind of made it. I don't know, like we've for whatever reason chosen not to solve a problem in a position. We've not got into a season with we've just gone right. Well, we've just gone. Pep can make this work. It's fine. And I just want us to not say Pep make this work for one season.
And all of them, Joe, as well. At some point, it always just at some point goes.
There will come a point. There will be a Manchester United at home next season where Nunes looks like the worst player on the planet, and we're all thinking, why the fuck did we not just sign a right back? Like that will happen at some point next season, if not multiple times next season. And I think that when you've got an option, which we have now, because we aren't signing a keeper, and no one can tell me that that's not something we've had to budget for prior to this summer. We're not signing an Ederson replacement, which the club must have thought they had to at some point. We're obviously willing to go up to like 60, 70 million for Livramento. Whether Newcastle accept that or not is we don't know. But the money is there. There must be somebody available on the planet who is not Mateus Nunes who can play right back.
The right back market is dead.
All right, let me ask you then. Give me one right back who you bring in then. Obviously, who's not homegrown that you'd swap right now. Who's available for Mateus Nunes? Because I can't think of one person.
The market's dead.
If you made it my full-time job and made me a director of football, I'd find someone. That's the point.
I don't exist. You keep telling me you'd swap him, but you're not giving me any answers. It's not
my job.
Realistic? Does it have to be realistic?
Yes, because Hakimi's
I'm taking that PSG Donny all day.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's the best right back in the world. He's the best right back in the world. That's the problem, though. The market is so.
There's no one else, though, is there? Apart from Hakimi.
Hold on, because there is the Martin Fernandez or whatever his name is. That's an option, but he's like 19. So, Joe, would you rather have him, who doesn't count against the squad size, so it doesn't matter that he's not homegrown?
He will in the Champions League, though. That's the only problem.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he will in the Champions League.
Fair enough.
The issue you've got is the way.
So then you either have to get a homegrown, or you have to push somebody out. So either way, he's got to go.
Look, if City and if Pep and or Hugo Viana look at this Fernandez guy from Porto and say we think he's good enough, then sick, bring him in, get rid of Nunes, and then just sort out the non-homegrown problem. That's my opinion on it, and that's like and obviously the perfect solution to all this is that we just get Livramento and we keep Nunes as the backup.
Yeah, keep us all happy.
I only have to watch Nunes play 15 times a season at right back this season, and we can all just and eventually he'll leave because. But for me personally, I think Nunes. He has to, for his own sake, if we sign any right back, to be perfectly honest, probably has to go. It's a World Cup year and he's not going to play any serious. I'm talking about for him. It's a World Cup year and he's gonna and if he's looking down the barrel of it. Nunes. If it's a World Cup year and if he's looking down the barrel of a 15-20 game season, is he going to get in that Portugal squad?
I don't think he gets in the team anyway, Joe. I don't think he's ever got.
Do you not think so?
Because even if he stays at City or wherever, he's still going to be playing right back in.
They've got Vitinha and João Neves in midfield, so he ain't getting in midfield.
Not picking him as a midfielder, is he?
And Bernardo, so he's not getting in the midfield. Funny enough, Joe, the best position
right back is where he could actually get. Yeah.
Because all they've got is at the moment Semedo, who's not that good. I think he's probably better than Semedo, like going forward, and then Gallo, who's not getting in, and then Fernandes, who's still not got into the Portugal team yet. So I don't know. Listen, we'll have to see what happens, man. Go on, sorry, go.
Also, before you move off of this, though, so the way it's been presented is that really, in all honesty, the only option is bringing in Livramento, which means we know that Newcastle knows that they're going to bend us over a barrel and demand. So what is the amount that what's the most that you are willing to pay? Or what's the amount that you would say no to a Livramento move? Because I need to know how desperate we think we are.
I think
it's not about. I don't think it's about desperation, but it's also about future-proofing that position for the next decade, as Paul people would say.
22? So 80.
Yeah, he's a
everybody's going to do 80.
If City paid 80, I would say we've overpaid, but I don't care because given the circumstances,
in 10 years' time, you're looking back at 80 million, you're thinking, "Fucking hell!"
Exactly.
You think who cares?
Yeah. As well.
I think 85 is the max for me.
Similar to us paying 50 for Walker 6-7 years ago, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So,
well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because again, go from 80 is 90 too much? I mean, I don't know what they would ask for, and again, depending on how much they want to get rid of.
They're having your pants down at 90.
Yeah, you're getting a bit silly when it gets.
I think after 80, I think 80 mil for me is the max that I'd go to. I think that's very reasonable. Like we're massively overpaying by about 30 million.
Yeah, massive.
If we got to 80, and then I found out that Newcastle asked for 85, and we walked away at 80, I think I'd be annoyed. But I think anything more than that, and you're getting.
If we put me for 80 and they say now we want 130, I'd just tell them fuck off.
But then if we went 85 and they went 87, like at some point.
Yeah, if you're racking over a few quid, then yeah, and
he needs to chill though. Do you know what I mean? It's
Livramento.
He's not worth 100 million, is he? Like even if it is for an extra 5-10 million, like I know it's.
He is mint though.
Yeah,
he is unreal.
I rate him. I do rate him, but.
I haven't paid that close attention to him, to be honest. I mean, I've seen him when we play him, but whatever. I guess what I want to know, because, we decided that whether we agree with it or believe it or whatever, the statement is, hey, we backed off of Verts because it was too expensive. And we were able to find Cherky, which we think is as good or very close to being as good for a fraction of the price. Are we positioning ourselves to pay over the odds for somebody that maybe isn't worth that amount? And I understand that we got to do what we got to do, but for what it's going to cost us, could we get by with Nunes for another year?
The added kicker here though is that he's homegrown. And that we don't need a homegrown player, but like if John Stones goes, Walker's going, Grealish is going
next year, right? Yeah,
we're gonna need
maybe this year.
Yeah, we're gonna need a homegrown player, and you get Livramento in. That's one homegrown player you've got now certified for the next decade.
Yeah.
The squad we need to have a certain amount of we need to get back to a point where England's best 11 has like 3 or 4 City players in it. Like that needs to be like the way that it is.
He is guaranteed to be England's right back in the next 2 or 3 years. He will be England's right back for the next 8 years. He just will be.
He'll still be in the under 21s, man. For the and everyone will be raving over him for playing against kids.
England's right back. Who are you going to play? There's only really one option, right? And that's...
Mate, they're going to play. If Trent and Reece James stay fit, they'll be picking them two over.
I don't think he will. It'll only be Reece James will never be fit enough to play for England on a regular time, but it'll be Trent. But purely.
Don't get me wrong. I don't rate Trent, but there's no.
I don't rate Trent. I don't think
picking Trent over Livramento. I don't.
I think Livramento starts. In 2 years, it'll be the number one right back.
I think Livramento will start. You think Trent's not good in knockout games, man. He's not. Nah. He's a league player. Yeah, he's a league player for me. Like I think Champions League and like that is more risky because of his shit defending. So I think it's going to be Livramento, man.
I just think I'd really like Livramento and he's good, right? But because he's linked to City again, I think everyone's fucking overhyping him so bad. Like he's a solid right back, but we're talking that we'll spend 80-90 million on this guy, and
he's 20. It's because he's 22, and you're saying he's a solid right back, and he's Premier League proven over 3 or 4 years. and he's on the verge of the England squad. He's smashing it. Obviously, I know it's under the 21s tournament, but he's smashing it there. He's played Champions League football with Newcastle. Like he's ticking every single box you need.
Like, he can play two fullback positions just naturally as the other, and he's good, just as good on both feet of the ball, on the feet, or whatever. You know what I mean?
And after hearing all that, give me Matheus Nunes.
I think the other thing as well is that if we don't do it, Chelsea will in a year's time. Like another team is going to pay whatever silly amount of money that. Yeah. Well, they'll bring him. Yeah, so he's home. So he's not. So not only is he homegrown for them, but he's like actually like academy homegrown for them, which is even better for him. Yeah. So it's like they're in a position. Like I'm not saying definitely Chelsea necessarily, but there will be another big six club that will pay whatever Newcastle ask for Livramento one day. It'll happen, and we just need to make sure that it's us and not them.
Do we all think it's going to get done or not? So I think it's getting done towards the end. I think it'll get done in this window.
I don't think it happens this summer because I think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they sell him, so that's why I want everyone to just chill on him. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think we're going to get him.
I don't think we will.
I think we'll try. I think we'll put a bid in. I reckon City will probably put like a 55 mil, 60 mil bid, and Newcastle will be like, nah.
I think your theory might be right, LB, because you said, I think, was it a couple of weeks ago, you said that you've got a feeling that Newcastle are going to hold off until the second part of the window after the Club World Cup. And to get because they don't want people to think that they're selling, they're having to sell players for PSR. I think that theory might be right,
It might be. I just don't know, man. It's weird. The thing is, though, do we all agree though that if you don't get this guy, you've got to go and get Wharton next summer? Because you need to sign an English player. So who's the best English player that you can go and get? For me, it's probably Wharton. But then
you won't play though.
Well, let me do the super chats actually, because we'll speak about this and then we'll do this final topic and then we'll wrap it up, boys. Shout out to Spartacus, who says, I don't think Alvarez would start in this side. He can't play on the wings as an inside forward. Yeah, Alvarez is a better 9, but he wasn't as good wide. So Spartacus for the year. Big up for the year, chat, bro. Appreciate it, man. Big up Cool Guy says, big up panel, guys. What do you think on Nico G? We'll come on to this in a second, bro. I'll come back to that in a second. Big up to MD says, Nunes is good as a right back. You can see he grew into position. Even if you look at his stats last year, he was at the top. Stats don't lie. Trust the Cafunes.
Can I just another thing to add to the Nunes thing? I think that a large reason why he has been rated as highly as he has is just because he's not Kyle Walker. I think it's just that I think part of we got to a point last season where we were fucking starved for anybody half decent to play that position, and I think that has. I mean, Jay's talking about us all overhyping Livramento. I think that Nunes is also being overhyped for a similar reason that we just needed someone to play right back last season and not look like an absolute disaster. Do you not think going forward though,
Nunes is really, really good?
He is. But then look at Manchester United at home. Look at the last home game of the season against Bournemouth. Yeah. Obviously, he made that shit mistake when we were already 3-0 up, and that's great at 3-0 up. But what if he does that at 1-1 or 1-0 up? And
that's why I want a new right back.
That's my problem.
I am with you. I do want a new right back. My point is, if we do go in with Nunes, I don't think the league. I don't think you lose the league because of Nunes. But you could definitely lose the Champions League because of Nunes, 100%. Because it's a one-off game, right? One-off game, he fucks you in one game. But I don't think it'll.
Can also win you a one-off game, like he did.
But I think Champions League, the odds are stacked against him. I think
forgets that the games that he's won as well, and the big performances that he's put in because of the 1 or 2 mistakes.
But that's why I think in a league campaign, I think he's probably all right to have a league campaign because I think he probably gets you more goals and more assists than he does the bozo errors that cost you goals.
100%.
It's actually funny though that Jacob said that because I was having a debate with Martin last night, and Martin brought up the stats and he said that Gvardiol actually has the same amount of errors last season that led to goals as Akanji. But everyone's like, oh, Akanji shit, Akanji out, this, that, and the other. But then you kind of compensate with it with Gvardiol because
of his qualities,
because he had qualities going forward with the goals and the assists.
Of course, I'm pretty sure. I don't know for a fact. I've not seen it, Bevel, yet, but I'm pretty sure all those errors come in the space of a month. Where Gvardiol, was it like January or something?
Yeah, it was a weird month, wasn't it?
Yeah. I can't stand doing Gvardiol, man. The guy played every single fucking minute of our season, mate.
Yeah.
Let me just finish these chats, then we'll come on to Cool Guys Super Chat. Big up to Miami. Says, I like a right back, but I'm not losing ambition if we don't get one. We can win the league with Nunes. Yeah, I just typed that. Wouldn't have a year ago. Yeah.
Go on, lad.
I think we can as well. Big up LB says Vanderson, Brazil starting right back. He's perfect. Is that the guy at Ajax or something? Where's this guy
Is it
playing?
Monaco? He used to be at Monaco, didn't he?
Oh,
Monaco.
Monaco. Yeah, I've never seen him play, man. I can't lie. But yeah, who knows, bro?
Yeah, I've not seen Wesley play. It doesn't matter. Just say you want him.
Get him in.
Right. Okay, we'll do this as the final topic then before we wrap it up, boys. Unless anyone needs to go, feel free to go if you're busy or whatever. Big up panel, guys. What do you think on Nico G not getting any minutes over Gundogan or Bernardo? Not happy with Pep leaving out a potential player. I have seen quite a few. I've seen your fellow panelist Joe Amos. He tweeted about it as well. I've seen a couple of other people having conversations about it. I think Pep I think he said something like. In fact, I'll bring up you guys talk about it. I'll find Pep's comment because he did speak about it yesterday. But yeah, what are you guys saying about Nico Gonzalez? Let's start off with Pulpy, man. Pulpy, what are you saying, Nico Gonzalez, bro? Like, any issues there? Or?
No, why is it that when a player comes in from another league and people seem to forget that every other player that's coming from another league usually takes a year to bed in? He's had 6 months it's had 6 months in the season where we were absolutely dog shit, and now everyone's like getting upset because he's not playing games and stuff. Give the guy a chance.
Okay,
if this time next year he's played 8 games, he's done a Calvin Phillips, then yeah, we've got a problem. But everyone just needs to chill out.
Do you know
what?
what?
Find his feet, understand the rhythm, and we'll see.
I actually thought this as well, Paulpy, because I questioned this a few weeks ago, and I said, "Oh, he's not played that many minutes." He's actually played way more than you think. He actually played like 80% of the games or something.
Everyone had Rodri finished in the first 3 months when he signed for City.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Plodra.
They always do. Just relax, man. Let him just find his feet and get used to the rhythm. Because the worst thing for him is that Pep Guardiola is the most meticulous manager in the world, and it's his old position. So he wants the perfection out of that, and he will if it's not 100% what he's looking for, he will stick with what he knows, and that is sadly Gundogan and Kovacic when they're fit. Gonzalez will get his chance. He will learn a role, and he will get games. We just need to calm down. You know, we've not bought a stinker who's not going to get any games. You can see his qualities. He will get time. We just need to let him get used to the position, and that's as simple as it comes.
The difference
He's arguably probably looked better than Rodri in his first 3 months.
Yeah, so why is everyone like, oh my God, what's Pep done?
Because
it's like, fucking
because Rodri, when it was his first season, Rodri started every game. And Nico G, I know that he might have been involved in like 80% of the games, but he hasn't fucking started 80% of the games. He's started like I can't tell you the percentage, but it's much less than 80. Like he's how many games did we go where we just like didn't see? I think when it got to the point where we actually had that sort of like semi-winning formula, it didn't include Nico G starting the games. It involved him like he obviously came off the bench if he's been involved in 80% of them, but he didn't start them. And I think the thing is that the difference. The reason why the reaction is kind of more understandably different to Rodri or more understandable than when it was Rodri, is because Rodri was playing every single minute of every game, so he could adapt to the position. He could get games in the Premier League to sort of get better and better at it. Whereas if Nico G is just not going to play while he's not perfected it, how's he going to perfect it? Because he's not playing to perfect it, if that makes sense. Well, and I think I don't care about him. I don't care about him not starting the game. If he's not going to start games, then I don't think that's necessarily the end of the world at this stage of his time at Manchester City. But if you've got Gundogan and that coming off the bench ahead of him, Gundogan who's fucking got potentially 1 foot out the door if Galatasaray still want him. I know that he said he wants to stay, but Galatasaray want to sign him. If we're getting players like that coming off the bench instead of Nico G, then where the fuck does Nico G get his minutes to improve from?
Yeah,
like, where does that happen?
But okay, so I hear it, yeah, and I do think it's a bit weird how Gundogan's getting these minutes, right? However, if Gundogan goes and Kovacic go, and then he's still not getting on the pitch, yeah, red flag.
Well,
100%. Yeah.
That's
But
my worry. From the back end of last year, you've got to think about it, right? He's a new signing that's come in. We've spent a lot of money on him. He's in an injury-ridden squad pretty much at the back end of last year, wasn't it? And he's still not starting over your Gundogans, your Bernardos, your Kovacic's. If 2 of them stay around this summer And then we've got the likes of Reinders who's come in, Rodri who's come back from injury. On top of those two guys, you're talking like he's the fifth, sixth choice centre midfielder.
Gundogan's gone, man. He's going Turkey, bro. That's a
that's
deal,
fine.
mate.
But if say the other two stay, who Pep proved that he prefers to pick them over Nico G last year, he's still the fifth choice centre midfielder there out of those five. So where is he going to find these minutes?
Right, so what happens if, hypothetically, what happens if Nico Gonzalez is guaranteed to start every game, right? Who misses out then?
Probably Reinders.
So then we're gonna be sat here. We're talking about the same shit about Reinders saying, "No,
he's
not getting games."
But we don't need. I don't think we're asking him to start every game. We're just asking him to.
But if he has the season every game, he plays every game, and it's Reinders on the bench who's not getting games, and everyone's have the same conversation.
Why is Gundogan coming off the bench?
Yeah,
I think he just trusts Gundogan. I think he genuinely just trusts Gundogan.
I agree, which is why I agree with Paul. I think Paul's spot on here in the comments. I think when Gundogan leaves, which he will, I think Nico Gonzalez will get them minutes, and if he doesn't get them minutes, then we can look at it and go, all right, maybe there is a bit of a problem, but. Like I think Pep just loves fucking Gundogan. Pause. That sounded mad.
Him, man.
He loves Gundogan. When Gundogan goes, he's not going to have him there. When he wants a midfielder on, he'll put Nico Gonzalez on.
And even if it's not this summer, all three of them will be gone by next summer, won't they? And then he's going to become an integral part of this team that you'd think. Yeah. So if he does stick around for another 12 months and obviously embeds into the team a bit more, getting minutes here and there, when those three do eventually leave, whether it be this summer or next summer, he's going to clearly take a step.
I just don't think you can have it this. It can't be next summer though. Like it has to be this summer. I mean, obviously Kovacic is injured; he's not going anywhere. But I think that probably means he maybe leaves in January instead.
No, apparently Kovacic is going to be back. He's going to be sold.
No, in that case, right. If they both go, then sick.
I believe it when I see it though. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they both hang around this season and Nico G's minutes are blocked for another year, that's not acceptable for me. I don't think.
Just to add to that, I've just put a link in the private chat. It actually says the minutes that Nico G's played. If you have a look at that, like he's actually, I didn't think he played this much.
But I've just been looking at the exact same thing. Yeah,
a lot of it was because we didn't have anybody else who could play there.
As soon as he found that sort of team that was semi-winning,
he started 4 games though, wasn't it? One of them we didn't even win.
He started 3 games from the beginning of April onwards, basically.
This is also, like I said, before Rodri and Reinders have come into the team. Do you know what I mean? This is in a team where we literally had Bernardo, Gundogan, and Kovacic.
The thing is, though, at the same time, when we signed this guy, we always knew he was going to be a squad rotator.
Yeah, we did.
Like we didn't sign Nico Gonzalez.
Back in the last year,
when we signed
him and start every.
So did I.
What this season?
When we got him.
This season, the way our midfield was playing in December,
January,
but
he was always going to be a squad rotated player.
No, I don't.
Back in the last year, the LB I'm talking about, you thought that he was going to come in and be a squad rotator
for this season.
We was on this panel show every week going, get Kovacic out of the team, get Gundogan.
No, not last year. I'm talking about when we signed him.
We're talking about last year.
No, last year he should have been starting week in, week out, which he did most of the time, as Bevel just showed us. Yeah, but. Going forward, like into this year and next year, I don't think this guy's ever going to be a starting week in, week out player.
I thought you'd said that you'd thought he was a squad rotator when he
not for last season. Not for last season. Last season he should have been playing all the games.
That's the thing, and that's the other thing because last season you can see there of the last 9 Premier League games of the season he starts 4 of them, which is a bit of a problem because he's not even when he's been brought in as the guy who should in theory be just chucked straight in to start every game because the options are Nico, Gundogan, and Kovacic, Gundogan, and Bernardo. He still isn't getting the regular starts at that point. Now, hopefully, with those, like I say, with 2 of those 3 out the door, you would hope that that sort of those 2 positions of Rodri and Reinders, that those positions will be split between Rodri, Reinders, and Nico, and then Nico will get plenty of minutes in that situation. But yeah, that needs it needs and like bold underlined needs Gundo and Kovacic to leave for that to happen.
That is a good point though. Gundo and Kovacic were actually playing well at the end of last season.
They were good, but it just means that
we were in games.
But it still ultimately means to me that as long as the 2 of them are there, they're gonna be preferred to Nico G because
I agree. Which is why I'm saying if Gundogan and Kovacic both leave this summer, which I think they will, Nico G will be perfectly fine. If they don't, then he might be in the mud a little bit. Yeah.
And to be fair, Bernardo Bernardo's going to play because he's the captain. That doesn't mean he's going to play every match. But he's going to play quite a bit of time. Yeah, and so I don't panic about the fact that he's not playing. I think he's going to come good. I have no question about that in my mind. And I just think that, to your point, we have to get these other 3 players out. I think we were buying him obviously for the immediate need last season, but also for what he's going to bring to the club and to the team in future seasons. But I also think you have in your head, we're going to get rid of these players in this timetable. And then when those players don't leave, like, again, I think we probably all thought we were going to get rid of Stones this year. Stones is saying he's not going. Now, whether that actually happens or not, but you have an idea, and you're building your squad out with an idea towards the incomings and the outgoings. And then some of those things don't happen. And so you kind of adjust. But I am confident that the kid is got enough talent to, maybe he's probably never going to push Rodri out of the 6.
No,
it's probably not going to be good enough to push Reinders out of the 8, but he is good enough, I am confident, to play consistently decent minutes throughout the course of the season.
I agree.
And like you said, be that rotation option.
Yeah. I still think he's got a yeah, of course. I think he's got a great future at City because the fundamentals, he's a good football player.
He's not a Calvin Phillips, is he?
No, when Calvin Phillips come to City, everyone's
seeing
him. Everybody knew pretty much straight away that this guy it like with respect in it. You know what I'm saying?
Running around like a fucking wardrobe with legs.
Yeah, bro, this guy's a good football player. Like, he is a good football player. He comes from Barcelona, man. He knows how to kick a ball. I mean, it's just positioning. And the thing is as well, yeah, he's clearly not a 6, is he? He's clearly not a 6. So I think he's going to rotate with Reinders. I think that's what he's going to do. And then when we're subbing Rodri off with 20 minutes to go, I think he'll get plenty of game time. I think it's fine. I think, to be honest with you, yeah, my honest opinion is I think people are more stressed about Gundogan getting minutes and then using that as like, why is Nico G not getting minutes? It's just like, Gundogan will leave after this tournament and he won't be here anymore. Done.
That's a point. Has he actually played at this Club World Cup?
Gundogan? Yeah.
No, Nico G.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he played 60 minutes against Al Ain.
Yeah, he played the...
he got subbed off, didn't he? Yeah, he's played. Let me do these final super chats before we wrap it up then, boys. Built on Matty Hoyle, man. What are you saying, bro? He said, we have too many players. We won't sign anyone. Well, like I say, I think Kovacic and Gundogan will both leave the football club.
And probably Stones. So that's 3 out.
Yeah, and maybe Stones is a weird one, isn't it? Because he's now coming out saying he's not going anywhere, but we'll see.
I don't blame him. Given the wages he's on, I'd almost not blame him for just sitting out.
I don't care. Keep him on my ass. But you know, he won't be fit anyway at some point, so it's irrelevant to me. But yeah,
I think it would depend on what his options are. Because if I'm him and I can go to Everton and say get a 3-year deal, maybe not on the same money, but I guarantee myself 3 more years, I might do that as opposed to maybe not even playing this season at all. Or the rare cut match.
As well.
So to me, I think you can make a case that we can all make the case that he should leave. I think if I'm him, I think about leaving. If there's any chance of me playing in the World Cup. Now, if they tell me that there's no hope, it doesn't matter what you do, then maybe you just stay and take your money.
Nah, if he's fit, he starts for England.
I was gonna say, I don't think he even needs to leave for that. If he's
not fit for a major tournament,
I'm telling you now. He's got more chance of playing in the World Cup if he just holds bench. Because if he plays more than 5
stays healthy,
making that World Cup.
He's still the
I don't think even
right back.
Because I was saying, obviously, I made the point. Yeah, exactly. I made the point before about Núñez maybe needing to leave for his own sake for the World Cup squad, but I think John Stones has absolutely nothing to worry about. As long as he's fit, he is both being got. Not only is he going into the World Cup, but he's starting every game in the World Cup. So
more World Cup finals goals than Wayne Rooney. Remember, don't forget that.
What a hero.
Yeah.
Did you put that on your TikTok?
Yeah, man. I called Wayne Rooney an overrated fraud, man. Go check it out.
Nah, bro. No, that is mad, man. Because I said that once when I WhatsApp chat. You cooked me for it as well.
What, Rooney?
Get receipts. Receipts.
Yeah, I've got receipts. I've got receipts of me calling Rooney overrated. Yeah, in a group chat, and then
I didn't back that.
So you have to make a reaction video to his video. And then pull the receipts out and do the whole thing.
Jay, you can have my Ronaldinho's overrated shout as well if you want. That'll go down.
That's beyond fucking rage.
That's horrendous. I can't lie.
Talking of players, did you see my the FPL cards that you get where it's like, you know, a certain player or whatever, but they put like a fake person. Have you seen it? I forget what he's called. He's like Alex.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name.
I did one of Jacob the other day with Luke Shaw on it. Do you see it?
I've not seen it, no.
Pull it up, it's well funny. I basically just whacked Jacob's face on a Luke Shaw FPL price card.
Oh, no. No way. Did you put it on Twitter?
Yeah, tagged you in it.
Oh, no way.
I don't think I've seen it.
I
I might have
missed
seen
it,
it. I
man.
don't know. I can't remember if I've seen it.
Violated.
Tagged you in it.
My fucking Twitter's not been fucking working anyway, so.
Yeah, I swear I never get notifications.
I've not seen it.
I'll have a look for it, Bevo.
Big up Matty. Big up Etihad Goals HD says, why is no one talking about Pedro Porro? He will be. Bro, I shouted Pedro Porro about 3 months ago. I got absolutely ruined by the chat. So
Yeah.
I hope
Stay
the chat
quiet
has the
on
same energy for you, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it'd be
man.
100 million.
Yeah.
No point even ringing up Spurs to ask.
Yeah, and the thing is, if I'm going out spending 60, 70, 80 million on a non-homegrown right back, I want fucking Hakimi, mate. Do you get me? Like,
No
don't go
chance.
spending 60, 70 million quid on Pedro Porro. Go PSG and drop fucking 100 million on Hakimi. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what
You're
I
going
do.
to go
personally.
big for a right back, then go for the biggest one. innit?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
not?
Exactly. Yeah. You're not going to get him, but try. Big up Thoughtbot says Nico G should be playing. If you want him to be better, he has to play, start to learn from mistakes to be better. You learn better from mistakes. I agree. He also says the biggest problem with not playing players like Nico G is that training won't be enough if you don't build chemistry and experience playing. Not playing, you might not be ready.
He's not an apprentice playing. He's not a 17-year-old kid trying to learn. He's a professional footballer with international caps, playing at like in training with some of the best players in the world. He's not like he's a novice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll get game time, man.
He will. He's
We need
it's mad, man.
Gundogan and
People got
Kovacic
so
to
much-
leave. As soon as they
people have got
leave,
transfer
it'll be fine.
PTSD from Calvin Phillips. I'm telling you, it's ruined people.
Yeah. As soon as
It is ruining
Kovacic and
people.
Gundogan leave, I guarantee his minutes
I think-
skyrocket.
I think it's less Calvin Phillips PTSD as it is last season PTSD. I think
A bit of
no
both,
matter
mate.
what,
It's just-
no matter what, watching the Unks come off the bench instead of your nice new January signing is a problem. Like that's not looking good to anyone, no matter what. And I think obviously you can still.
I agree.
People can overreact to that a little bit, and I think that's it's understandable. But I don't. Obviously,
Which
next
is
season
why-
I don't think that'll be the
As soon
case.
as the two unks leave,
Yeah,
it'll be
but I think ultimately it won't be a problem. But I still fully understand why you would look at that, like Gundogan and Kovacic coming off not Kovacic, sorry, Gundogan and Bernardo getting minutes off the bench ahead of Nico G, and think, what the fuck's he doing here? Especially there's like so many other January signings and all the other new guys are getting plenty of minutes, like they're getting minutes in every single game, and then Nico doesn't. It kind of feels a bit like, well, this isn't great, but I get it.
I say give it a couple of months, and if we still talk about this in September, October, then yeah, maybe a problem. But I don't think we'll be speaking about it in October. Cool guys, says LB. You forgot about Jack. He may leave. Well, yeah, I think he is.
He's a deadline day loan all day long. He's not.
I
going
think he's
anywhere.
lucky already cleared out, mate. If I'm honest with you.
He is a deadline day.
I'm surprised you're not wanting him back in the. Oh, he's having some time off to train and get back to it. And
He is.
I thought you'd
PR's
be going
working.
on that, Joe.
Oh, mate, he's just. I'd happily have him in the squad next season. Me, if he can get his head right, if he can get his head straight, then he's all good with me. But
the
it's,
guy
yeah,
wants
it's
Nunes out. Make it make sense, man.
it's
Just
yeah.
Chucky
One
get
of
the
them.
10?
One of them's. Have you heard of this thing called the treble, Jay? It's it was
no!
pretty good. It was
Phillips is a
No,
trouble in the man.
but seriously,
Hey! Hey! Have a fucking word with him then, ref! Hey!
Joe, the absolute treble merchant. That's like,
yeah. Heaven forbid I
personality's
cling.
based around the treble.
Heaven forbid I cling to one of the greatest seasons in our club's history. But no, seriously, but Grealish is going to be so impossible to get rid of. It's mad. He has got deadline day loan.
We're paying all his
half
wages, isn't
written all over it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It stinks of Spurs. Spurs, we pay half of his wages and he goes to Tottenham. Champions League,
Yeah.
they've got Champions League money. They'll get him on a loan, and we'll just be fucked.
And he'll be
We'll
holding
have to-
bench to Brennan Johnson because he's washed.
He won't, mate. I'm confident that wherever it is he goes, he'll be mint, and he'll have everybody fooled. He'll get a transfer, and then the same old problems are just going to come back again. And it's going to be like, well, I've locked in a new club now. and then
I think he's going
The
the
issue-
Jesse Lingard route and just absolutely stinking the place out off the earth, mate.
He's done,
what
man.
career?
Yeah, just won't surprise me if he. Yeah,
I think he might be finished. I've said recently, I think he might be finished. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
genuinely
what happens to him. But I think he might be finished. We'll see what happens to him. Sweet. All right, and lads, anyone got anything else before we go?
Yeah, are we winning the Club World Cup or what?
Yeah, man. Look at the side of our draw. Piece of piss now.
Yeah.
Let me get up the latest graphic, mate.
We're the most
Is
impressive
anyone
team in the
concerned
tournament.
about the Saudi club? Which one is it? I forget.
No.
No, we're not worried about anybody else other than Paris Saint-Germain or Chelsea.
Just PSG, isn't it, really? But that should be the
Or
final.
Chelsea give us a game on our side if we get through.
We
I can't-
do
I-
Chelsea, though, don't we? Even when we're shit, we usually do Chelsea.
This is the
but just
graphic,
something
boys.
different this year, isn't it?
So, who's that there? Who's that the team there?
Is it
Al
Al Hilal?
Hilal.
Yeah, that's
what
the one I was
ballers have
thinking,
they got? What ballers have they got?
Is that
They
like
got-
Koulibaly?
they got that-
Cancelo.
Yeah,
Kula-
Koulibaly, Cancelo.
Malcolm.
Cancelo.
Oh, is it Cancelo? Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
Ruben
yeah.
Neves as well? In Ruben Neves?
I'm
Yeah,
Ruben
Ruben
Neves.
Neves.
That's what I said. They don't
And,
have a bad the squad,
Milinkovic, Savic.
the names.
They've got that goalkeeper as well, who played for Morocco, I think it was. Is it Bono?
Oh my God, yeah, Bono, yeah.
I said it on air the other week when he
Yeah,
saved the
Bono,
penalty
yeah.
against Madrid, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they've not given up a lot of goals. They only
They got
gave up
Madrid.
one to was
One
it
to Real
Real?
Yeah.
And then
So that-
they drew with
They're effectively like a
Whoever
championship
else
team,
was.
aren't they? Really, like they're on a level of a championship team.
I don't know.
I
apparently
think
they
they'd be
did really
higher
well.
than that. I think they'd be
They're
higher
a
than that.
relegated championship team, so they're, on a, they're
What?
like
They got a
left
draw
wing.
against Madrid, right?
Madrid
Yeah.
played really well against Madrid. Yeah.
Yeah.
They played
they're
really
on a
well.
standard like a Leicester or someone else has got relegated. Southampton. That's the sort of standard they're at, right?
We shouldn't be worried
I'd
about
say
this.
higher
We should be
than that.
battering them.
Yeah.
I'd say
But
higher standard than that.
realistically, we should be getting to the final here, boys. Look at our
100%.
route on the left hand side.
100%.
Obviously, respect, blah blah blah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, like no, like jokes, mate. We're Man City. Yeah, we're playing some good football now, right? We should be getting to the final here.
Because
The
Inter
problem
haven't
is-
got all that
Yeah.
either. And they're probably the biggest team on that side of the draw, aren't they, you'd think?
The problem is the other side of the draw in it, because like PSG, let's be honest, it's PSG, Bayern, Dortmund, and Madrid that are going through that, aren't they? Really? And all four of those. Actually, no, sorry, not Dortmund. So
We
three
slapped
of those
Dortmund,
four.
yeah.
Monterrey's
Yeah, so-
a good team, you know.
Three of those four are scaring me. Like
I think
Yeah.
the issue that teams have had is they for the especially early, right, in those matches, maybe not for the entire table, but you kind of took for granted some of the South American, not as much the Mexican, but the South American teams for sure. And then even like the Saudi Arabian teams, I just think we should be a little careful. Now, do I think we're going to win? Yes, but I don't think it'll be easy. We smacked up Juventus. I don't think we do that to whichever the name of this club is,
Al Hilal.
LIE,
No, it won't be
whatever.
that kind
I
of
don't
score.
think we're going to do that. I think it's going to be tight. It'll probably be 2 goals at most. It might be a 1-goal win or whatever, but I just think we have to.
I think
Go ahead.
Juve was our most difficult game. Was our most difficult game now until the semis. No, sorry, the quarters. I think, yeah, I don't think Al Hilal is going to be more difficult than that. And
Yeah,
I think in
that-
name, yes, Juve would have been the harder match.
They won't
But I
come
think
and
what we
play like
see on the
Juve, will they?
pitch,
Yeah.
I think what we see on the pitch, I think Al Hilal will be better. They'll
Probably
be more
agree.
They'll
compact.
sit in
They'll
more,
be
yeah.
they'll
100%.
be more compact. They'll be fine just playing, defensively and trying to keep us out. Now, whether they can do that or not, it'll be a test to see if we've gotten this new ability to unlock, deep line defenders. Park the bus. Can we break it down, or can we do all those things? We'll find out. But I don't think it's going to be, a 4 or 5. We're not going to smack them, I don't think.
I think it's going to be trickier than. Sorry, Bevo, go on, bro.
I was just going to say, I actually think that Al Hilal is going to be a more difficult game than Inter Milan.
Yeah, have Inter
Yeah,
signed
I
anyone,
think-
bro?
Yeah, I think so too.
Have they signed
I
any
don't think they
players?
have.
In Milan?
No,
Nah,
and,
mate,
and
they
they're
were
looking
rushed.
awful as well. Like they're looking
Yeah.
really bad.
They were so bad. Yeah, we should. But have you seen this before we wrap up? Have you seen this? This is how much money, some of the top clubs have earned. We've already, off of 3 matches, earned $38.7 million.
How does it work? Because obviously, like Real Madrid and obviously Real Madrid have qualified. Like they've all qualified. Should it not be like the same amount?
No,
Or is
it's
it
done like
just
Wins,
bonus.
draws.
Yeah.
Win
So
bonuses.
because we've
and
won
shit.
all three, we get a bit more, and then
Yeah. But if
obviously-
we win,
so I
if
think-
we win the whole, the top amount of money you can win if you win every single game and win the tournament is like $120 million, which
That's a Livermento right there for free.
fucking unbelievable. Isn't it?
Technically, we have to win every game if we want to win the whole thing. So,
yeah,
I mean, we're the only team that's
Well,
won.
at this point, yeah,
every
because we're now
game.
in the knockouts.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
and
think
we're
we
the only
smashed the
team that's
team.
won
I
every
think we
game.
smashed Alien, we smashed Milan, we'll smash whoever's in the semi-final, which I've got a feeling it'll be Benfica. I'm just smashing
Really? Over
smash
Chelsea?
everyone. Smashing
4-0,
everyone.
4-0 every game.
Smashing them all.
Come on, man.
I genuinely think
Yeah.
Al Hilal is going to be like a 3-4-0 job. It's like
Yeah,
it's
4-5-0.
It's not going to be difficult. I think
I
Inter
like
might
it.
be a bit more tricky.
I
We'll
hope
smash
I'm
Juventus up,
wrong.
and that was at like 400 degrees, Death Valley temperatures. You know what I mean? We'll be finding a nice chill
Yeah.
night.
Juventus hadn't conceded a goal before they played against us.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll
obviously
smash
they
them to
were two-
pieces, man.
The
It's all right.
teams, the teams are
Alright,
shit,
okay.
but
Chest
Yeah,
out
fellas.
time again,
Yeah.
lad. Chest out
Yeah.
time.
Been a bit Tarek,
Smash
mate.
a bit Tarek.
Yeah,
See you later, mate. Paulby's come with chest. I've not seen this side of
Oh,
Paulby
you just,
before.
yeah, why
Mate,
not? Smash 'em.
Puppy only speaks with
Mate,
chest.
Puppy was predicting we'd win the league last fucking January.
Hey, we didn't, but we're still third. When we was like ninth, and I was like, we fucking we finished third, and we did.
It was first and then second and then third.
Yeah,
We
it was
gradually
it
got
was
him
first
lower
for
and
We
lower.
might as well. We should have been second, really, let's be honest. But we'll win this tournament. There's no reason why we shouldn't.
Yeah, win it, man. I agree.
No,
I think if we
I
can
think-
win that, then
City PSG in it, I think, final.
PSG,
go.
but PSG horrible, Bayern horrible, I think, and
I think we
and
smashed
Madrid.
Madrid.
Any
I don't think PSG
any
or
tournament
Bayern-
where
I don't
Madrid's
think-
in it.
I don't think PSG or Real Madrid get to the final on that side. LB, get the thing up again, mate. I think I generally think it's going to be Bayern or Dortmund.
Dortmund.
I'm telling you,
I'm telling you,
Monterrey
I'm telling you now that it will not go the way. I think Chelsea get beat off Benfica. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Bayern end up beating Paris Saint-Germain and Dortmund come out of that. Just
I want PSG in the final. I want to know where we're at.
I want
man.
to test us, yeah. I want to test
I want to know where my club is at. Yeah.
I agree.
In a
Even
month
if we lose,
against-
man, I want to see us against them.
Yeah, against PSG. I want to know going into this Champions League next year. I want to know whether I've got a chance of winning it or whether I should just keep my.
Let's not
expectations
forget
low.
as well, we were absolutely gash and we were still 2-0 up on them at one point.
Yeah, and then they just activated a fucking switch, didn't they? And just fucking went
Yeah.
mad on
Oh,
us.
I think we just activated the bozo switch, to be honest.
Nah, facts. Diaz went off and we crumbled. Give me PSG in the final and let me see where my club's at. You know what I mean? And if we get cooked, I'll be like, right, sweet. We're probably not on the Champions League wave this year.
That's the final everyone wants, isn't it? That's the showpiece final, and it's City
Yeah.
versus
This is the Barca PSG what we should have had in the Champions League, innit?
Yeah.
Imagine a Barca PSG final, man. How good would that have been? Instead, we got fucking into Milan, who were just shite. Anyway,
I think I just think it for me. I think at this point now, we kind of have to win, right? All right. I think it becomes pointless if we don't win because I think this tournament. I've said this for ages. I don't really want to be in it because of the number of games we've played this season, the number of players who need. It's kind of been helped a little bit now because we've got so many January signings and new signings now that kind of can benefit from these games a little bit. But so much of our squad just needs a rest. And I think if you're going to get to the point now where you're playing like 5, 6, 7 games, if you don't win, then that's just been a disadvantage compared to the rest of the Premier League. Like other than Chelsea,
unless the finances legitimately are that important, where it makes a difference in.
We're 4 games away from a new player. That's what it is.
If we find
3
out
new
that
player.
if we get to the final and don't win, but it turns out we've still got like $100 million or whatever, and then we find out via Jack Gordon in 2 or 3 months' time that that's what made us just go fuck it, we'll pay whatever you want Newcastle and sign Livermento, then sick. Like it's all been well worth it.
I don't even care about the money side of it. I want that shiny gold badge for 4 years. That's all I really care about.
Yeah, won the last ever Club World Cup and then won the first ever one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we win it, it literally is. You pay 80 million for Livermento, and then there's his wages for the next 10 years. Done, sorted. Or for a football tournament.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Right, sweet. Right, big up, lads. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, smash up the likes, man. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Is there any football on tomorrow? Benfica.
Under 21's finals on tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
England versus Germany.
Final.
Livermental watch.
I might have to get on that.
McAtee watch.
And McAtee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
alright.
Before he leaves.
Should be a good game, that, because England have been good in this tournament.
Yeah.
McAtee's
Yeah.
very
got
good.
a fucking mortgage and about 3 kids, man, playing in under 21s tournament. Crazy. Crazy work. Shameless.
Well, they're all like
It's really
22 and 23 in that tournament. Not there's hardly anybody who's under 21.
Do it on Are You Under 21 on the day, like the initial tournament
The
started,
qualification
like, a
begins,
year ago
yeah.
or whatever. Because of
This
You were
COVID.
you were always allowed to have a couple of players that were old as well. That more like Matt. It's weird. But
Do you
yeah.
remember did you remember the England B team? England
I
Reserve?
do.
I remember being
Yeah, England
young,
A and
yeah,
England B.
like watching Sky Sports News, and they'd be like, "Oh, England have scored it." It'll be like England Reserves and like fucking some rant James Beattie or someone like that.
Yeah, James Beattie. That's who exactly I.
And I was like, "What the hell? Like, what they got rid of the B team, mate? Weird. Why did they get rid of the B team?"
Just
Because
there's not
probably
enough-
less
I think a lot of it was down to there not being enough high quality players for it. It was pointless.
Yeah.
You know, when
No one
the
made that
quote were
I
English
mean, there
players.
wasn't much quality back then when you've got James Beattie running
No,
that.
to be fair, when you go back to the 90s, early 90s and stuff, like Matt Letizia were playing for the B team and stuff. And
Ian Wright as well, I remember.
yeah, they were all like, in there. It's just Chris Sutton and stuff. They were all playing for the B team. They just couldn't get in the first team. Now it's just like, you're English, you kick a ball in the Premier League, you're in.
Yeah. So dead, man. Fucking hell.
We've gone from Shearer, Wright to fucking Ivan
Kane.
Toney and Ollie Watkins. It's 20 years.
Yeah, nah, crazy. Right, sweet. Oh, Graham's saying ESPN are saying we are the winners of the tournament or something. Oh, the winner. Who are the
fuck
winners
off.
and losers? The ESPN, man. Crazy guys. Right, big up, man. Make sure you guys are checking out the City Ramble podcast on all the podcast apps. Joe's on there, daily podcast, man. Amos, and a couple of other lads as well. So make sure you check that one out. Make sure you're following up Jay's new channel as well. J Talk Sport, TikTok, Rattling the Mutants on there already.
Let's go.
And YouTube as well. So make sure you subbed up to that as well. And Bevel and Luke on Not in My Lifetime as well. What is Not in My Lifetime? Never in My Lifetime. What did he say?
Not in my lifetime.
Not in my lifetime.
Fergie quote, innit?
I just know it as Nimble, innit? That's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
Nimble. Yeah, that'll do.
That's how I know it. So make sure you're following up, guys, innit? Yeah, I might do that watching on tomorrow, actually. So yeah, stay tuned on that one. But yeah, big up to you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.